And welcome to A Guild's Tale, Episode 1!
Yay!
Ta-da!
Did we win yet?
It's amazing!
Great. Save or die. Welcome.
Hi guys.
So, this is different. Normally, he's up here on these days, huh? That's a little strange.
Hey, what the fuck?
Yeah, I kind of moved you
Got
down
my
a bit.
spot, fucker!
No, it's actually kind of it's kind of comfy here. It's nice and warm. Thanks for
I feel
saving the
betrayed.
spot for
I
me.
feel backstabbed. I feel cheated. I feel.
Do we have like the DMs all on one side? Can I like swap?
Oh, you wanna? Yeah. Okay. Next session, I'll have. I'll
just-
put you over, so we can have like DM side, player side.
Yeah.
All right. Sure. I like
That way I
that.
can look
thought we
up
agreed no
at
more
you
cults.
guys. Yeah.
I was gonna say that just.
In any case, normally this would be when we do character introductions, all that. But you know, as with a new game, I think it's more interesting we kind of do that as we continue in. So, how about we just get straight into things, huh?
Yeah.
Sure. I have dice.
I hope so. This is a game that requires some dice. Usually about 6 of them.
Well, I have about
Start throwing away your.
I have about 28 in front of me right now. Do I have? Did I do it right?
That's good. I feel a little inadequate now because I only have 24, so I think I need some more dice out.
Gommel.
No. Welcome to a Guild's Tale, Episode 1. And the first episode that I'm DMing in a proper long-form campaign of our new world, that Tuesday did first. Fuck you, Curry. So, getting right into things. We enter into a new world, unseen, aside from Tuesday, to us previously. This is not Farron anymore. We are high above the skies of another world as well that has been teased upon in another Saturday's show. In a small planetoid, a Gaia moon. A world known as Loon. Orbiting around another body that indeed, during many days and very visible during the nights, on this planet, this moon, there is its sister, Sira, that hangs above in the sky, a smaller sort of moon body that would look almost reminiscent of the moon in our world. And then, visible almost like if you can imagine Saturn or any of the other sort of large giants in the rare times that they're visible, there is a massive planet that dominates the sky fairly often here, as indeed Loon orbits an actual proper world. And our story takes place on the continent of Vincula, far to the northwest, deep within human territory, as we hone in further and further to the northmost reaches of this peninsula, to a town known as Gorwil. Within this territory, this small border town of some humble folk find themselves caught in the events of this campaign. In fact, I can show you the town.
Fancy.
Why have I felt like I've seen this before?
This is Gorwil, a humble village of small structures, all these stone buildings primarily made of this sort of darker brick. Most of the places here are barely more than a few rooms wide and only one story tall, aside from a few structures of note. And the most lively of these places being a tavern, as in all good ways, our story begins in one. Within a structure known as the Carved Stone, we see that the room here is empty. This wide wooden structure that has this cozy fire burning in the early autumn days, keeping a good warmth glow coming from its windows. It is oddly vacant. There is no music, there is no talking, no drinking, no eating. Silence. All except for a brief conversation occurring as a small individual arrives in a inopportune time, and Forge, I would like you to roll a dexterity saving throw.
Fuck!
Excuse me? What happened?
Okay, my dice still likes me. Saving throw?
Mm-hmm.
21 total.
Okay. I would like for you in this this basement, this cellar to the tavern here. You are in front of Delcy. She is talking with you. She was just telling you about kind of the arrangement she was going to make for you. This half-elf woman with sort of rounded features typical of her sort of background. Slim, long hair, bright green eyes, and well, towering high above her is yourself, if you'd like to introduce your character.
Alright, well, towering above her would be a creature or man looking like he's wearing full metal plate and a large plate helmet, standing 9 feet tall, towering over this slim girl with a dull glow in his eyes of pure red, as he's looking concerned and worried over the fact that he broke a step on the way down. He would put down his hammer with a large slam, as standing before her would be one of the few Warforged juggernauts that have been seen outside of his home.
I think she's mid-sentence. Right, so I'm thinking, and then there's a glint of metal as, whew, roll damage. Not you, Forge.
I know, I was rolling dice just to make sure I still had good luck. I was like, I'm gonna die, I need stuff.
15 points of damage?
Forge, you take 7 points of bludgeoning damage as a coin flies out from the barely open cellar door and just impacts into your shoulder and like goes into the metal and just sticks there. As you see standing at the top a I guess momentarily scared individual. If you'd like to introduce yourself.
Well, I am a very short, dark-skinned gnome known as Fear. But in this exact moment, I currently believe that I am an elf. Truly am an elf. Yeah, the guards were definitely looking for something quite large and metallic, and I just let it be known after letting this coin fly. Oh, you're who the gods are after! I've come for you now! I'm gonna be famous!
Why did you throw metal at me?
Surrender now or get more of that!
Okay.
Delcy takes a few steps back, so she's not like in between the two of you. As Pafir is up the ladder at the top here, kind of creating kind of this height difference between you. Gnome, if you really wouldn't mind, this can all be explained. It's not he's just a knight passing through. That's helping me with rats in my cellar.
Rats in your cellar? Well, then why are the gods looking for him, and why is all the patrons running for their lives?
They're very large rats.
Rats of unusual size, you say?
Yes.
I'd probably just hold up my hand at this point. It's okay. I told you I didn't want anything bad to happen if it came down to it. Yes, I'm the one the guards are looking for. It was a big misunderstanding. If you need me to come up, I surrender.
Good! Come up and we will bring you to justice, criminal!
Just understand that I didn't do anything wrong, and I start stepping up the steps, and I imagine they're like bowing underneath me.
Yep. Forge, this really is gratuitous. He's been nothing but kind. The guards are just jumpy.
Well, either way, if I stay down here, it's not going to make the situation better if they already have an idea that somebody would tell them you're harboring me. Besides, what's the worst they could do? Kill me? It's not like I really know what's going on.
Well, yes, actually, kill you would probably be the end result.
I'm sure they wouldn't do that. I haven't shown that I'm any kind of threat. Heck, he threw metal at me and I haven't done anything. Why did you throw metal at me?
Because the guards were looking for you, criminal!
Look, how about we come to a deal, he really has no idea what's going on. Look, gnome friend, what if I offered you some, free board, huh?
Free board? After the reward I'm sure the guards will give me, I'll be rich and famous.
What's
Just
a
like
gnome?
my big brother. It'll be great.
He's a gnome.
Oh, I know a gnome. You're like that food trader I met.
But I'm an elf.
You do look weird. You don't have tattoos, though.
I don't need tattoos. Why would I have a tattoo?
Because the only elf I've ever seen had tattoos.
Well, strange elf indeed.
You're strange.
Tell you what, here, if it's a reward you're after, she starts, like, rummaging around in her pouch at her side. I think I have a few coins I could, give you. Starts, like, counting them in her hand. How does 6 silver and 12 copper sound?
6 silver and 12 copper. You know, I am probably a little bit more expensive than that. You might have some up in the till upstairs, perhaps.
Give me a persuasion check.
That's a 7?
Look, and at this point, the door swings open as another large individual arrives. Squirrel, you've been here for a few days now, and I think you were out, gathering some wood from the outskirts to put in the fire is kind of one of your chores for your free board here. And you heard kind of the mumblings and rumors from people like fleeing out from away from the tavern as you arrived back that something was going on here. And when you enter in, you see this small gnome creature at the top of this stairs having an argument downstairs, and you don't see Delcy or anyone else in here. And if you'd like to go and introduce your character.
Right, so this is a just about 8 foot tall, 300 some odd pounds. It looks larger than average. He's covered from head to toe in this black padded leather armor with orange designs all interlaced throughout, with a large metal helmet with these, like some kind of antlers coming off the top of it. And all you can see is a cutout for his lips and his glowing red eyes. And you said the commotion's happening at the top of the staircase?
Yeah, so it's on the other side of the counter at the back part of this room here. And the only individual you can see is the gnome.
You. Who are you?
Oh dear, there's many tall people here. There's a mechanical monstrosity down here, and I'm trying to apprehend it.
I'm going to pick him up by the scruff of his neck.
So this like 8-foot tall man walks over and just like towering over you, reaches down. Do you let him?
No, of course not. I'm gonna try and get away.
Excellent. Let's continue this PvP. Tyree, moment, if you make an athletics check, and Pafir can either roll in acrobatics or athletics, your choice.
Oh boy. Athletics will be a 19.
Okay. For Tyree, that's a 9. That definitely, he kind of just like slowly goes to reach down and grab you, and you just duck out of the way and end up like behind him. And now, Tyree, that you've kind of got up and he scoots away, you can see down through the darkened cellar door, Delcy down there, and this very large, fully armored individual that is still like on the stairs, or like ladder going up. That's just like the sound of wood creaking is ever present.
Delcy, is everything all right?
Could you just make sure he doesn't get outside? There's a misunderstanding, is all.
You want him to stay here?
For now, while we can figure this out.
Sure. He'll head downstairs to block his exit.
Alright. Well, she gestures more to the I think as you start going down, she's like, no, the gnome, the
What?
Oh.
Just looking up curiosity. What?
Okay, look.
He turns back around up the stairs to... Oh. Right. The gnome.
The elf! Why? What's wrong with you people?
The elf man.
Right. You. Don't go anywhere.
Well, I can't leave. She's bribing me.
Have a seat.
Well, you know, I'll just like... Is there like a bar here?
Yeah.
Alright, I'll just start helping myself behind the bar, I guess.
Okay, so you just take a there's a couple of small kegs kind of like underneath the bar next to one another, so you can just take a empty flagon and fill one.
I'll be waiting up here for my money.
I'm going behind the bar. I'm going to try to grab him again to put him on the other side of the bar.
Okay, I'll say just if you're not like grappling him, you can just like lift him up and just set him on the other side. So he just has his drink still, but okay. Or shall we just go upstairs?
Yeah, I don't want to break anything else. Can we?
Yeah, just
And I'll reach down to grab my hammer.
as you like reach down, the board creaks ever so slightly, and I think as you pick up the hammer, there's like another stair breaks.
I'm sorry. I'll fix that later, I promise.
Yep. She
And I'll
follows
just,
up
like,
after you.
Tiptoe.
Okay, alright. This is what you get, Delcy. This is what you get for harboring strange people. Okay, I'll make you a deal, Mr. Elf. How long do you think you're gonna be in town?
Well, until the carriage is ready. I need to go home.
Right, okay, so you need to head back out east. If I recall, I will give you 10 silver right here, right now, to not sell out the nice large man to execution. In return, I'll let you stay here till you have a caravan.
Alright, but I want all your copper too.
You said you're going east? I don't want you to take all of this good lady's metal. She didn't mean any harm by any of this. I actually came from eastward. I can, maybe in exchange for my life, I can give it to you for a while so you can find your way or guard your caravan. What is a caravan?
It's a bunch of people kind of traveling all together.
That might not be a good idea then, huh?
Delcy. A question. Would it be easier if we simply squished him?
Yes.
Okay.
However, I would very much like to avoid killing anyone inside my nice establishment, if at all possible. It has
I
been
could break his legs. We could keep him downstairs.
I don't really want to see this strange individual come to harm over me. I don't want to see anybody have any issues because of me.
Oh, it's involving you. I was going to do it for fun.
Yeah, time it'd be. I think perhaps, you know, for the time being, why don't we go ahead and can you lock the door just so that no one? And as she says that, the door swings open again, and in steps two other individuals, one much smaller than the other. I imagine maybe one of you probably being a little stealthier. So why don't we first introduce the taller of the two, if you'd like to describe yourself.
In through the door, you see walk in a average-sized human male, looking in his older years, or maybe like his 40s, 50s, or maybe early 50s. He currently just has a shield on his back, a short sword on his side, and he's dressed in chainmail, full-length chainmail, and like a sleeveless cloth shirt over top of that that's blue and black and yellow trim.
And for the smaller individual, I'm gonna have you roll a stealth check to see if you're seen or not.
Yes. Natural 18 plus 8.
It's gonna beat everyone's passive perception. So okay, the only person you see is this this man comes in, and Delcy just goes, fuck me.
We're closed.
Hi.
Is this happening after the
hello?
scene that
Are you
they
gnomes?
noted?
This will be about the day after.
The day after, okay. Just making sure.
So
The day after.
This is the day after that. I imagine you two probably. This scene is the day after Nate's and BB's session 0. Not. We haven't just suddenly skipped a day.
Right.
I imagine the
that's
two
what I
of
was
you
referring to.
were probably out looking around town, right? Seeing like kind of the buildings, what there is, around to see. When you would have also heard the commotion around, that there was something going on at the tavern.
Okay.
Your door's unlocked if you're closed.
I was about to lock it. Go.
Sorry, I'm new around here, but I heard some loud noises coming from in here. I thought I'd just put my head in. Was anybody need any
tripped.
help?
No, I tripped. I fell. I broke a chair and a table.
You look interested. You don't look clumsy. What? All right.
Sorry, I'm about to break a chair and a table if you don't leave.
Oh. Can I change your mind with some coin? I can stay for me and I'm looking for a room for a night or two and some food and drink and
Tareem looks over towards Delcy and look back.
just kind of peeking in a little bit further to see if I can see anything.
I'm sure we can make an exception for triple the rate.
So you definitely see the two newcomers. You see the very large, full, like, this looks like a full
Yeah.
plate male knight, but just this hulking 8-foot tall individual, and then this other man in this very odd ornate armor that is not typical of this area. It's completely something you've never seen before. Standing at up near what's Tyram's actual height?
He's 7'10".
Okay, so he's just like a few, like 5 or so inches shorter than the other one, but still an impressive frame. And then just this small, deep gnome at the counter, just enjoying a drink as all this is going on.
Holding onto one silver coin just in case.
For the record, I'm using my halfling nimbleness. Oh wait, that's not the ability. What is it? My natural stealthy ability, and I'm hiding behind Reed.
Okay, you like
This whole time I'm standing behind him, and nobody can see me.
Okay, all right. And Delcy goes, okay, here's an idea. She points to you, Reen. What was your name again?
Reed Fisher.
Right. Okay. You came here with a little individual, right?
Yeah, we came into town about a day ago.
I stick my hand out behind him and just kind of wave.
Okay, why don't you both come inside and shut the door and lock it, please?
Right. I'll go ahead and do so, I guess.
All right. And Beeb, would you like to introduce your characters? You've kind of revealed yourself.
Yeah, I reveal myself and turn to Reed. You see this this small halfling individual, just over 3 foot tall. He looks incredibly young, like maybe he's only a teenager. He's wearing leathers and this dark black cloak. He's got pulled up over his head at the moment. You see a very noticeable like pink scar. You're not really sure if it's a blade or what on his left cheek. And he looks up to Reed and he says, "Yeah, I don't think this is really our business. Why don't we just get out of here? We could just leave."
Yeah, but we came into town. We need a place to stay. We'll just get a room. Let go with their business.
I thought we had a room from last night.
Yep. Yeah.
Well,
you,
this isn't-
you paid for one night.
You realize your
I gotcha.
fares were so high. Still, it looks like these individuals have the situation that's kind of their own business. We should just leave and be on our way.
No. Look, there's been a big misunderstanding here, and I would be indebted if perhaps we could come to an agreement.
Is coin involved?
There would. For sure. I have some coin that I can give you for doing me this favor.
I look up to Reed. We can stay.
I need this man, pointing to Forge, brought out of town. And if you could do this for me... Yes, Forge?
Is he a gnome?
No, that's a halfling.
Okay.
If you could do this, I would be very willing to pay each of you some coin.
I like to talk figures.
Plus, I need
Talking
my money
silver and gold?
up front.
One
There's
moment.
not a lot of money around here.
Goes underneath the bar and takes out a small chest and a key out of a pocket and starts counting. Okay, I guess, Tyrion, I don't suppose you would be willing to lend your strength towards him. As much as I love giving you a free room and free food for everything, I'm sure they could use someone of your size. Tyrion? Give you 10
Fine.
silver. I could give each of you 10 silver.
Consider me curious. Would you like me to just carry him out and throw him out there? They don't even need to be involved. I can just pick him up and...
Yeah, we'd really just like to get a drink and maybe some food and get back to our room.
Now, hold on a second. This lady's offering some coin. And I'm
I
sure
don't even
the
know how
silver
you could
is-
carry him.
I'm going to go ahead and take a guess here. When you say get this man, this metal man, out of town, You're referring to doing so without it being seen by who exactly?
Preferably anyone. If
Why?
at all.
Anyone.
Just, glances up Forge. He's a very nice knight coming through that needs to leave.
Why do you want this man protected so badly?
Look, alright, look. Forge, are you kind of like motions for you to like come down just a bit so that you're like anywhere near her height?
I just lean over.
Look, I can pretty much guarantee that if any one of these people knows the truth and tells any of them, it will be bad news for you and me. So I guess what I'm asking is, how comfortable are you sharing your situation?
I'm not ashamed of what I am. I just didn't want to cause another commotion.
Yeah, that would have been nice. So, to be honest, I don't want to see someone innocent get killed over something they haven't done, and Forge here is just a bit confused on the sort of ongoings of the territories here.
Ooh, boy.
Let me interject and say I'm sorry for causing all this commotion. I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea what half of going on is going on for. I just traveled here looking for a dwarven city, which I just recently found out the name of, and I tried to follow the customs and order something to eat, and everybody kind of panicked.
Curious.
I know I'm quite large.
How does someone made entirely of metal eat?
I mean, I have a mouth and eyes and nose.
Yet you have a need for it?
You also poop.
That's disgusting.
What is that?
Yeah, that's a no.
See,
Reed.
he's really innocent. It hasn't hurt a fly.
Reed, I have a question.
I did break a step though.
Yeah?
Have you seen people like this before in your travels? I'm unfamiliar with metal people.
At this point, I'll probably
not.
fully remove my helmet. And when I remove my helmet, underneath would actually just be what would look like a mannequin's face, where I have no interesting features. It's just an actual human-like face with a small area for the mouth, with very like dim-colored lips, and a more or less a smaller nose. Just basically the basics a person would need to look like they have one. No hair, and then my eyes would just be the pitch black with a little red glow in the middle.
That is creepy.
No, Davos, I have not seen any No.
Tell me, Metal Man. Or I have questions. Are you familiar with the elves of the Emerald Wood?
I'm not even sure if what I saw was an elf, but the only elf I saw was covered in tattoos and killed my best friend. So no.
You can't trust an elf.
Hey,
I haven't met
said
one I can
that.
trust yet. And considering the other one over there is saying he's an elf, he threw a coin at me.
This one claims he's an elf.
The gnome.
The short one, yes.
I am an elf, yes.
He is very much like the other gnome I met.
As someone who has spent a great deal of time with gnomes in recent months, I don't agree whatsoever, sir, that you, in fact, are a gnome. Or an elf, excuse me. You look like a gnome to me.
Well, you would be one wrong just like many others in the past. I am a very proud Rose Bloom. So
There is nothing nothing proud about being an elf. You should reconsider your self-evaluation.
And if I were to reconsider what I actually am, would that change anything? No, I am an elf.
When do we start this job, anyway?
Preferably... well, the guards are going to be on patrol tonight, so I would say... the night after? As soon as possible?
The night after? You want to wait here a full day to get him out of town?
Look, I know how the sentinels around here work, and they're gonna be around like watchdogs all night and morning, so unless you want to try and get him out tomorrow afternoon in daylight, I would probably recommend otherwise.
What do you think, Reed? What's the best way to get this man out of town, this metal person?
I don't know. I will start walking down the length of the bar towards this hulking metal thing. And what is her name?
Delcy.
Sorry, again?
Delcy.
Delcy, got it. Delcy, is it? I mean, what, are you just a good Samaritan in this whole thing? You come across this man and house him in your place of business, and he's wanted. What's in it for you?
Does it really matter?
In my defense, I was only here for like 2 minutes. I really don't know why everybody was so scared. To be honest, I still don't quite know why.
Did you kill someone?
No, I haven't killed a single person. At least not since I left home.
Perhaps we can poke around then. They don't know who we are, Reed. We could perhaps try to gather why they need this man out of town. Perhaps if we can convince them otherwise, then the job will be easy. You can just walk out on your own.
If the goal is sneaking me out, I might add I spend a lot of time out hunting. I may look big, but I can at least be a little quiet.
I walk over and I knock on his, metal legs.
Ding,
They're
ding,
padded.
ding, ding.
I don't know about that. Perhaps it's a good idea you stay here for now.
Well, either way, I'm glad to hear that you guys would be willing to help, but we still have one other issue. And that's that I don't think that person likes me very much.
The gnome.
Yes,
The
elf
elf.
gnome? The elven
Elf.
gnome?
Maybe names would be easier.
Yeah, what is your name?
A fear.
please?
A fear Rosebloom.
A
You
fear?
still owe me 10 silver.
Can you
Rosebloom?
take the one?
Yes, Rosebloom.
As in, Asterg Rosebloom?
Yes, indeed.
Why do you need, 10 silver then?
Look, it's not that my family isn't rich or anything, but I just don't like being cheated.
Why'd you throw a coin at me then if you wanted the coin?
It's not about the coin, it's about not being cheated. I am owed 10 silver.
I'm sorry. What is a rose bloom?
It's a good question. What is a rose bloom?
It's a rose that's blooming, and it's my family name.
And you're implying that you are from a wealthy family then.
Indeed.
Maybe we should keep him here too.
We're not ransoming Pafir, Tyreen.
Why?
I am a simple tavern keeper who is trying to run a business. I am not looking to get into the politics of the Aster Kingdoms.
You don't have to be involved. I'll take care of it. I'll cut you in though.
She just turns her back at this point, just runs her hands through her hair and just... Oh, Delphine.
Yeah,
poor
look,
woman.
I'm not really looking to get involved with any ransoming or kidnapping or anything, so
Alright.
maybe
You
I
all
just
can
pay
leave.
you for the
I'll take
day
care.
and...
Sure, okay, just tell you what, on the house, just please, just don't say anything. Goes
About
over.
the kidnapping?
Basically, any of this, puts out 10 silver for Pafir.
Thank you. Now I don't have to tell the guards. We can be friends now.
Good to meet you.
Reaches over and pours herself a drink. Sits down.
So
Yeah, I'm gonna need one of those too.
Yeah, I mean, hand them out and everything, but why are you such a robot lover?
He starts pouring drinks and handing them around, and look, it's people around here are tough, and especially against people that don't, aren't human. So I just don't want to see them tear him apart just because he's different. Kind of glances over to Davos as she's being an elf, especially even half, isn't exactly welcome around these parts, and
Oh, well, I noticed.
yeah.
You know what the problem is with half-elves? They're only half as delicious as normal elves.
That's
Uncomfortable when you say that.
I suppose flesh is food.
you eat a lot of elves. Have you?
It's a delicacy where I come from. Elf ears, specifically.
Where is that where you come from exactly?
You wouldn't know it.
Yeah, probably not, but I was hoping you wouldn't say like some crazy place that I might know. And
Oh, you've never heard of it.
I came from a cave.
I've seen many of those.
Okay.
Yeah. So, why are you friend with an elf eater then?
This is news to me.
A little concerned about who you make friends with.
yeah, you don't keep great company.
Even I'm starting to think that was a bad idea, Dulcie.
Frankly, believe me, I'm starting to get on the same page. Look, I think I would like to try and recuperate some of my losses from today, so perhaps we could just come to an agreement, get everyone squared away with their rooms, and act like this never happened. Would be great all around.
No problem. I can definitely pretend this never happened.
Great, thanks.
Yeah, you probably should get back in the basement there, Metal Man.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. If I stayed up here and somebody wandered in, I'll grab my helmet and put it back on. And try to carefully walk back towards the basement.
You go over, and you all watch as he disappears, and then as the hatch shuts, there's just a muffled sound of something snapping.
And you just hear, "Damn it all! I'll fix that!"
Yep.
Great. When's the caravan inbound again?
I mean, if you're waiting on a bunch of other people, probably a week or two.
Oh.
But look, the large metal man's seems fairly capable. Tyrone here has a big hammer. I'm sure you could make it on your own and leave here soon.
Walking's kind of beneath me, though. I'm gonna need that caravan to get here soon.
You could try and buy a horse at the Gilded Road, maybe.
Well, I don't have, and probably I don't have enough money on me to do that, though.
Right. Well, I guess you'll be stuck here for a while.
It seems that way. Luckily, room and board's free, so I guess I'll just stay here until I need to leave.
Darren, could you please open the doors back up?
Sure.
Thanks. If you need anything else, just let me know. I will be here.
You hear knocking on the hatch. Can I have a candle? It's dark down here.
Do you have eyes?
Apparently. Reaches over, just at goes to one of the tables and takes the candle, lights it with another one, and then just like hands it down the hatch.
Thank you.
Someone who needs to be remain unseen for whenever we get him out of here. He's doing a terrible job being so noisy.
Yep. I'm aware.
Should we put him to sleep?
By asleep, do you mean dead?
Be a
I
lot
assume we
easier to
can.
get a corpse out of it, than a full body.
No killing, please.
I like
Yeah,
the way
look,
the very
I'm-
short elf thinks.
No, I'm not here to kill anyone or kidnap anyone or sell anybody off for any amount of money.
What are you here for then?
To get a drink, some food, and a good night's rest.
You've come to the right place.
I'm with Reed mostly, but I must say, Reed, they are offering, if we can get this guy out of town, that's 10 silver. That's good money.
That's Davos, that's nothing. When we get back home, I've already told you, it'll be settled.
You
You're going
have
to-
great wealth as well.
You're going to turn down a job? Look, you may be rolling in dough, sir, but me, I could use a few coins.
And you'll get them when we get back to Lilburg. It's just a
Mr.
few more days
Roseburg,
away.
sir?
Rose Bloom?
Rose Bloom, right. Do you fancy yourself a game of dice?
Me, I'm not really a gambler.
That's a shame.
Yeah, probably your best idea. Just
Well, Reed, I guess I will follow your lead as I promised, but I'm just saying this is a missed opportunity for some free coin. But whatever.
I trip on something.
You know what? Maybe it is a good idea we don't agree to this job. This precious cargo is a bit stupid.
yeah,
Tareem closes
you're
the
willing
door.
to risk yourself on that.
Perhaps you're right. Let's get our drink that you came here for and get ready to leave.
We'll pour you a drink each.
Is the hatch in view of the bar and anything?
I think it's pretty close to the bar, so unless you're like peeking over, you wouldn't really see it.
So there's no way a 9-foot person could come out of there right now and not be seen.
No.
In that case, while they're all drinking, can I just find a piece of wood and just start making a thing? I don't know.
You've made plenty of scraps.
Yeah, I figure.
Sure. I think pretty easily done, considering. So in the sort of the darkness of the cellar, with just like a single candlelight, you can start just whittling away.
I'm gonna try to make. Kind of want to make like a copy of the amulet I'm wearing.
Okay, excellent. Give me a carpenter's tools check. So it's not something that really takes all that long to do to whittle a small item. Few hours.
22.
22. Okay, so I think over the course of the day, then you can start kind of shaping something like that. While I think it's a couple hours until people start filing back into the tavern very slowly and cautiously, until finally the dinner rush comes around. Is there anything that, at least for today, the rest of you do?
Can't think of anything.
No, get some food at some. I probably would talk to Davos privately and just really ask him, are you serious about wanting to stay for this job?
Look, I'm with you on the whole no kidnapping, killing, or whatever. That makes sense. But if the job is simply getting a man out of town, we've only been traveling for a brief time here, Reed, but I'm sure you've picked up by now but that's kind of my shtick. That is kind of what I do. Remain
I
unseen.
hadn't forgotten that. All right. I mean, sure. We'll stay 2 more nights. You'll get this done quick, easy. Everything will be fine. We'll
And
be
then
on
we
the
can
way.
move on to wherever it is you saying where your family is and do whatever job you say that can bring me coin. But don't forget our bet. I know I haven't.
Yeah. Well, all right. We'll stay.
Alright, you're able to, you get your room, she hands you keys free of charge, begrudgingly.
And look, we have a free room. Working better than expected.
True. I didn't even have to pay for it. All right.
She is deflated for the rest of the evening. I think Tyrum is your kind of helping around, I assume.
Yeah.
You have your continued lodgings. And the night goes without too much event. I think there's murmuring throughout the tavern that night, and probably for some time in the town about the supposed war machine that was talked about.
Yeah, can I try to listen in any conversations?
Yeah,
and pick
yeah.
up on why
Davos wants to do the
people are
same.
freaked out.
Yep. Davos
Can I
wants
do
to kind of learn what the fuck he did to
Yeah.
Can I do the
get
same?
trouble.
Listen in.
No, you can't, Forge.
Oh.
Is Pafir interested?
Ooh.
Well, of course. I gotta know what's going on around here.
Alright, all three of you can roll perception checks.
Perception.
Can I argue
25.
investigation as I go around and I want to question people? I'm not like listening.
Sure.
I'm just going in and be like,
Okay, if you're
so you
directly
heard about
talking.
that war machine? What's going on with that? Like just doing stuff like that.
Alright,
Make a persuasion check.
13 total for me.
3,
9
pretty
plus
good.
4.
Three's pretty good.
3's decent.
Alright, and what was it, Davos?
9 plus 4, so 13 for me.
13, and for Reed it was a 25?
19 plus 6.
Nice, okay.
Damn.
So I think Reed overhears a fair amount, and Davos with a 13, I don't think you get too much conversation with people. There's
You're a bunch of racists. I'm going to my room.
there's definitely kind of a lot of it's offstandish people that kind of like look you up and down, look at some of your equipment, right? And they kind of, piece some things together and
Yeah.
they just
Fair
sort of
enough.
turn their back. I think probably like more than once you overhear someone just mutter, "Fucking gravedigger."
I steal from him.
Give me a sleight of hand check.
If I hear him, then I'm gonna do I'm gonna order a drink and bring it over to this gentleman, slide it over to him and pat him on the shoulder and say, "I don't know what you think I am, sir, but I haven't touched a grave in my life. Stop being so judgmental." And then I'm using that time to try to nick his coin purse.
Natural one.
You said sleight of hand?
Yep.
15 plus 6, 21.
Okay. You grab a pouch off of his belt and you kind of to the drink and doesn't say anything, just kind of like grimaces at you and just starts drinking it.
But Reed notices, right?
Reed, you with your perception, you see all of that. You also overhear some conversation. One person you hear, and I swear I saw it. It moved. It took its helmet off, and it was like a man, but this shining metal, and it tried to put food in its mouth, and it just mushed it around, and I didn't think war machines like that came this far west. It was just acting like a person. And there's other idle conversation between people about, whether it's just someone being crazy. I think kind of like the crowds shifted a bit. It's not the same people that were here at the same time. But that's probably the most valuable thing you
So
overhear.
basically, it just sounds like they don't like him and he's weird. So get him out of here.
Basically.
Okay.
Buffy, you are at the bar enjoying some complimentary drinks, and I'm curious. I imagine because elves are kind of, they're known for some sturdiness, at least when it comes to like poison, that sort of thing. So I imagine probably you partake in that way of an elf would.
Well, sure.
So I think you're probably pretty well along at the point. You're not paying attention to any of the conversation. You're handed your own key, free of charge. I think there's like, for a moment where like she holds onto the key, it's like the last room she has, you like grab it and like pull it for a second, she... Have a good stay.
I will.
You're able to find your rest, Forge, in the cellar, finishing up this small wooden symbol time in your room near Delsey's, and Reed and Davos sharing a room, and then Pafir with his own. And is there anything that any of you are doing during the night, or we're just going straight to rest?
I was gonna attempt to sneak out of the basement.
Okay. Anyone else?
Nope, straight to bed.
Okay.
I don't think so. Not tonight.
Did Reed confront me about him seeing me steal?
No.
Forge, I think you creak up the ladder. You kind of go and poke open the hatch. You see it's completely dark out. It's been silent for a couple hours. There's only a bit of moonlight filtering in through the windows here. And there's no one to be seen.
I just want to kind of come out of the basement and kind of try to go over to one of the windows and kind of look out the window.
Give me a perception check.
It's gonna be 17 total.
17. You peek out the window. Is there anything in particular you're searching for?
I'm just looking at, because in my mind I'm thinking that I've caused a lot of trouble and it would be easier for everybody if I can try to find a way out without having to hassle anyone. So I'm looking to see if there's any patrols out there or anything like that.
Alright. I think you can see on the outskirts of town the occasional dot of torchlight of someone being out there. And then as you're kind of watching the patrol, as there is about a dozen people moving around the outskirts of town and through the streets. You glance something at the corner of your eye. What would be sort of on the north side of town, down one of the open streets, basically coming out from here up this way. You see a figure in the moonlight, and you probably wouldn't see them if it wasn't for the fact that there is the odd sort of glint of the moonlight off of their form, this almost sort of blue reflection, as a very tall, semi-humanoid creature that's like walking on two legs but has an odd frame. Its head is this large shape, and its arms are wide, almost like 2 or 3 feet wide, that kind of bulk up its frame despite its fairly skinny legs, as it appears to sneak into a building.
That can't be a gnome. Trying to think if... Yeah, no, curiosity would get the better of me, and I would probably try to see if I can sneak out at the door. And head over and try to follow whatever that creature was.
Okay, give me a stealth check.
15 plus 5, so 20.
Not bad. So, with some impressive dexterity, you sneak out of the front door, and knowing exactly how to place your footsteps and move without your sort of form, but despite being this heavy sort of suit of armor is so well tied to your actual body that it doesn't really shift or strike itself. So there's no clanging of metal from any of your movements, really. As you're able to sort of move between buildings, crossing through streets, just as in the nearly pitch of the night, the only light that you see is from up above at the the moon just visible in front of the planet Corum. And the occasional guard that passes by with a torch just watching around, checking for any disturbances. And as they pass by, you're able to just run past them and get up into the sort of northern outreaches of the village. And you get to one of the larger structures, actually, one of the sort of a wider house. This one's actually 2 stories, although the second story is like about half the size, just like it's like a tower to one corner. And there's a sign, no name or anything, but it has a symbol of a wood saw, denoting some place of business. And you see the front door is hanging open.
Okay, before I do anything else, would I have been able to use a hit die in that time that we were doing nothing? Because I actually kind of got fucked up by that coin.
You would have been able to short rest, yeah, so you'd be able to use your 1 hit die.
God, it hurts. Metal is painful. Alright, well, I got enough to cap myself.
As you're looking and you're debating what to do, you see out from the front door this figure exit. This tall, like 10-foot humanoid creature, but this amalgamation of animals, like they've been stitched together. It has the legs of a horse. It has the head of this wolf that's this like white fur and bright blue eyes. Its arms are these like large like hawk wings that end in claws, and its body is this sort of black almost chitinous looking material, and all throughout different parts of it you can see like blue crystal kind of jutting out of sections. And in its clawed hand, it is dragging like its hand over their face of this unconscious or dead person, a tall humanoid looking like perhaps some sort of elf. And it sort of just like looks around and begins lumbering off into the forest.
I would immediately probably have noticed the body and have a flashback and just immediately start to follow this creature. I would be I know I'd be too afraid to try to do anything in town for fear of startling people, so I would probably wait till he got into the forest and then I would attempt to confront him.
Okay. It continues out for a ways, and it's moving quietly. You actually have difficulty, if you weren't already looking at the creature, you'd have difficulty finding it, as indeed the actual buildings here are on the outskirts of the woods that encroach onto Gorwil, so it isn't too long till you're out and away, out of eyesight of the structures here, and have nothing but the moonlight going through the tree canopy here to see as this thing is kind of just moving in a northeast direction, almost directly, and not particularly in a haste.
I mean, as soon as I know that I'm not like totally like visible to every like building in a freaking mile radius, I'd probably just call out and be like, "Hey, what are you? Why do you have that person?"
See, it turns
that doesn't look
around,
like very friendly.
and it snarls. This wolf head baring its teeth, and it lumbers around so it's fully facing you, still dragging this humanoid behind it by the head, and it kind of hunches its shoulders a bit in this defensive position, and just locks eyes with you and continues growling.
Let the person go. I don't imagine from the way you're holding him this is very friendly.
It kind of cocks its head, and then begins making this gagging motion until I need you to roll me a saving throw.
Save or die. Save or die. Save or die. Save or
Save or
die.
die. No, this is
Kill him now.
This is actually an attack roll. Okay, excellent. What's your AC?
17.
Cheat dice, cheat dice, cheat
17. Hey, that's going to be a 19.
Ew. Alright.
As out from this wolf head, this glob of material flies out and then expands in the air as this web flings out and just covers your form, pinning you to the ground. And as it does so, then it just bolts in the other direction, moving quickly.
Is it still holding the person?
Oh yeah.
I'm a big boy. I'm just gonna try to tear out of this net and pursue.
Okay, give me a strength check.
Just a straight strength or athletics?
Straight strength.
Okay, in that case, it's gonna be 19.
19. Okay, you easily just rip free as this slick webbing just tears apart like rope, and you're able to start giving chase. What's your movement speed?
30.
All right, as you are following, then I'm gonna have you make a survival check. See how long you can keep up with it.
19 plus 5, so 24.
Okay. It very quickly leaves you in the dust. It is much faster than you, but you're able to follow its tracks. Now that it's moving quickly, these hoof prints are left in the dirt, making it fairly obvious where it's going. Until finally, as you can hear it for a little while as you're following these tracks, until maybe 10-15 minutes later, following it into the woods here at a sprint, you no longer even hear it ahead of you.
I can't. Can I attempt to like locate the tracks and see where it's
You
going?
still have you have the tracks here.
I just can't. He's gone. He's long gone.
You can tell just by listening that it is much faster than you, but the tracks are fairly obvious right now.
I'm gonna sprint back to the inn.
Okay. You rush way back, taking you about 20 or so minutes. Fling back into the village. Are you going back into like a stealth on your way there throughout the buildings?
No. Yeah. I think I would just like throw up my hood and just kind of like bolt through.
Excellent. All right, no one fucking notices. I think as you barrel through, you just end up lucky as no guards are in your path. In the sort of the direct way you take through the alleyways back into the tavern.
And I would probably... I don't know which room is Delsey's, do I? I don't know whose any room is, so I'm just gonna go up to...
You haven't seen any of them.
I'm gonna go up to the first door, and I'm gonna knock on it.
Alright, this loud... There's some shuffling inside, and the door opens slightly, and you do actually see Delsey. Her like hair is kind of just like all over the place. She's like half asleep. And... Large?
Some weird hybrid creature thing. It looks like a bunch of animals I've hunted in the past. Just ran off with somebody from looked like a wood saw, so I assume carpenters? Not enough time. I couldn't keep up with it. I think that mine might be in danger.
From Telrines? Just describe it. What was the... what exactly did it look like?
Had the head of a wolf, horse legs, its arms almost looked like eagles that ended in claws, and it had this blue-looking chrysolite just jutting out through it in certain areas, almost like holding it together. It had the man in his hand, and it was started to drag it out of town. It was on the northern outskirts. I went to go after it, and it caught me in some weird thing, and I couldn't keep up with it, and...
Yeah, Forge, get some rest? I
don't need sleep.
Okay, well, unlike yourself, us flesh people need to sleep, and I'm pretty sure you're gonna need some help if it sounds like you want to go after this thing.
I'd prefer to go after it now while the guy might still be alive. I just couldn't think of a reason to go after it without asking to see what it was first.
It sounds like you saw the beast.
So this isn't the first time?
It's been around for a little while. Here, can you wait in here. Or give me a moment, actually. And she shuts the door. A couple minutes later, she opens it back up. She's now fully dressed and just wait in here, and I see if I can't rouse Dream.
Is that the other big boy?
That would be him.
I like him. Not his anger, but his honesty.
Sure. I'll just be a moment. She goes over to the next door over, and Tyrone, you are brought awake by the sound of some knocking on your door.
All right, after a moment, he gets up, puts on his boots. He never takes off his helmet, but he puts on his boots, and he opens the door. That's all he's wearing is his boots and his helmet. Delcy.
Oh, for the love of...
So that's what a human looks like.
Tyrone, why aren't you wearing anything?
I was sleeping.
Fair enough. Okay, I need you, get dressed. I think I need you for something.
That I need to get dressed. All right.
She shuts the door herself and just waits outside.
Start pacing back and forth.
Comes back outside just a couple minutes later. All right. Who am I killing?
Less of a who, more of a what. Please, follow me.
All right.
She leads you into her room, and you see the large, metal individual, in there already, and she shuts the door behind her. Okay, so this day, night, never, just got, even more pleasant. Forge here is saying that he saw something, and that someone might be in danger.
In the cellar.
That's an excellent question, actually, Forge. How did you see this?
Well, I kinda may or may not have seen if I could maybe leave without causing anybody any issues, and as I was looking out the window, I saw the beast hovering, whatever you would call it, into town, and I'd never seen anything like it before, so my curiosity got the better of me, and I went to investigate.
So you left the tavern.
Yes.
How far did you go?
All the way out of town.
Why did you come back?
Because there was somebody in danger, and I didn't want to leave them, but I didn't think I could handle it on my own.
You being here puts Delcy in danger.
She's also the only person I could trust to save somebody else.
She's not a warrior.
Sometimes the bravest people aren't.
All right. You can borrow my hammer, Delcy. I'll go back to sleep.
Terry, with all due respect, I've been giving you free food, drink, and living space for the last few days for the explicit intention of you protecting myself and my interests, and at the moment that would involve Forge here. So, perhaps you could help him track down and kill this beast,
All right, hold on. So, is this on top of the 10 silver for getting him out of the town when he had gotten himself out of the village for free already earlier tonight? Do you want me to help get him out again to kill a thing? Do you want me to bring him back?
No.
Is it 10 silver each time we bring him in and out?
No.
I'm trying to understand the arrangement is all.
I'll make a trade. I will give you all the silver I have on me, all the metal that I have on me, not my hammer. You can't have my hammer.
You're made of metal, so you'll be mine. This is the deal.
Ironically enough, Forge won't correct him. If you help me save whoever it is, and we can get him back to town alive, I will accompany you until any deed you need to have finished is finished.
If I help you, I won't take Delcy's 10 silver, but you'll swear an oath to me. That's how it's done where I come from.
Fine.
Deal. Let's go kill this thing.
Great, great, great.
I already have an idea of what its footprints looks like. I can track it pretty easily. We just got to get to the northern end of town.
I think I've just had an idea.
Would you like my hammer after all?
Nope, I very much would not.
Would you like my hammer?
I'll be right back. Jade exits out the room, leaving the two of you alone. And I think, Reed, on your door, you hear a knock.
I would hear this too, right? Because I'm in there.
Yep, you're sharing a room.
What do you think it is? Say to Davos. Kind of quietly.
I don't know. Just to be on the safe side, I have an idea. Quickly grab my belongings, and Did the doors open in or out? I'm assuming in.
I think
Fire
she-
safety, they open
into
outward.
the room.
They open outward?
It's fire safety.
Okay.
Yeah, so all these doors opening into a hallway as people are trying to run through. while
Yeah,
there's
that's
a fire. Yep.
Yeah,
make that
super
safe.
fire safety.
Doors open into a
It was
room. All right.
pre-fire safety.
Yeah.
Oh,
pre-
right.
pre-fire.
But so you're establishing that this person is not very fire protective, and they
They're
open outwards.
anti-fire safety, the doors open into the hallway.
Okay, so I'll go up to the door, and I'm just gonna have my back up against the wall right next to the door, and just have a dagger out, and just waiting, just in case anything goes wrong, and just wait for Reed to open the door and greet somebody, say, "Oh, hello, you're knocking on my door. Let me open the door in front of your face."
Please. Yeah, step back. I'm gonna open the door.
They're really poorly designed. I hate to disturb you, Mr. Reed. I couldn't help but notice you seem to be a fairly well-equipped individual. How would you like a job?
You already gave me one.
Yep, nope. Less of a smuggling, kidnapping thing, more of, saving a person's life?
Who?
I did say the carpenter. But I don't think that's about all I said.
You don't even know.
One of the carpenters. Maybe both.
Save him from what?
It's kind of a long story. Would you and your friend care to join me? And the others?
I look towards Reed, and just go,
Yeah, maybe. I'll wake him up.
Right.
I'll reach out and try to close. Back up. I gotta close this door. Yeah, wait. All right.
"Okay, I'm starting to get a little weird now. Things are strange here. Is this always like this here in the Dominion?"
No. You still want to stay?
That remains to be seen. What do you think? What's your instincts on this?
I don't know. It sounds like somebody's in trouble. I trust this tavern keep enough. I mean, she seems annoyed by everybody else being here in the first place, so we can go down, at least listen, see what's on.
We'll get fairly compensated, of course, yes?
Probably. She'll probably give us money. I don't know. Sounds like someone's in danger. Let's go.
All right, I'll follow your lead.
See, she's waiting at the other end of the hallway. Sophia, I imagine as a person who thinks they're an elf,
Yep.
you spend a lot of your time in a trance, just sort of
Yes.
meditating, as you obviously don't need sleep.
Right. I'm meditating.
Like you're awoken to the disturbance outside, the sound of knocking, not on your door, but outside, and then like a hushed conversation that interrupts your meditation.
What insolence is this? I'm gonna go over, push open the door and hit her in the back. Oh, it's nothing. I must have been.
Look, it's a
medicated.
15-foot hallway, right? There's plenty of space for the doors. You see, I think, Reed and Davos exiting out, and then Delcy like waiting at the end of the hallway, and looks to you and go back to bed. Everything's fine.
No, I mean I don't need to sleep. So what's going on?
Okay.
Reed and Davos pass by. Looks like someone's in trouble. Come on.
Was this one of those things we get paid for?
Yep.
Sweet, count me in then.
Are you really inviting this want-to-be elf? I don't trust him.
Alright, I don't trust you either. Let's go.
Would you keep it down, sir?
We need to?
I do have a couple of other guests currently staying here. Yes.
Fine, I'll be quiet.
There's some shuffling you can hear from rooms adjacent. Oh, please, she like gestures you towards her own room and opens up the door.
Actually, before, as she's leaving, she's doing these conversations. I actually want to talk with Forge if I can.
Sure.
What did she call you?
The only name I've ever known is Forge.
You can call me Tyreem. Tell me, Forge. What do you want?
To be a smith. To create beautiful things out of metal.
Alright. When you swear your oath to me, I will see to it that you achieve your goal. As long as you continue to follow your oath to me.
You should know that I don't exactly appeal to killing. But I'll follow whatever oath you give me.
That's right.
I also don't eat elf ears.
That's fine. It's been a long time. It's more of a joke at this point.
I kinda hope so, but at the same time, there's a certain elf I wouldn't mind seeing it happen to.
We can try it later.
I've never seen a creature like that before.
A short elf.
Yes?
I've seen many. Of all sizes. Tall ones, short ones, ones with sores. It's strange. Just elves come in all shapes and sizes.
You know, this actually might work out better than I thought. I have a lot of questions about the world.
Can't answer many about this one.
That just leads to more questions.
The door creaks open into the hallway in an awkward fashion, and she has to like shuffle you in as you're joined by the other three individuals from earlier that day.
Hello.
Why are you out of the basement?
That is a good question. I thought we were smuggling you out the next day.
You know there's other patrons in this place. Why aren't you being considerate?
Did you have something to do with the commotion this night?
Delcy, have you told them?
Is this the person we're supposed to fight?
She's not there at the moment, actually. She's having to
Oh,
calm
right.
down guests outside that are starting to wake up. So it's actually
Okay.
the five of you.
Okay, well, I was kind of hoping Delcy would be here to help explain things, but this is gonna be very unfortunate. Oh, yes, Tyreem?
Forge. There's a thing that was witnessed that was taking a person to a place that they probably didn't want to go. And so we have all agreed, I assume, to hunt this creature for great glory and fortune or whatever motivates you. And at the end of it, you will all swear an oath to me, of course.
Now hold on there. I said nothing about an oath. I
we
only
can
came down
discuss-
here for the interest of coin.
Right, we
No
can...
kidnapping, no oaths, no selling people.
Tyreem, I
Alright.
assume one life is enough for a life. I think my oath would be enough.
For now. Alright. Let's go kill the thing then.
Chelsea enters in at this
What?
point.
This one is quite weird. I don't know if I like him.
What is
Now
this
I also
party?
said no killing. Now all of a sudden we're gonna go kill something. What is
Actually,
this
that's a good question.
creature or what? The carpenter was being stolen by some cure.
Perhaps I could shed some light on this. So
Sure hope so.
Gorwil's had a bit of a problem this last month or so. A creature that we only know as the Beast arrived and has been, well, don't really know exactly what, just people and animals have gone missing every so often.
Hey, Reed. You think that
Yeah.
wolf we saw on the way in, do you think that this so-called beast had anything to do with it?
How big's the beast?
It had the head of a white wolf.
What's it
Really?
doing with it?
Its head was actually a wolf's head.
It was attached.
It
Oh.
was attached from every term of the word. It looked like it was put together to be together, is the best way I can say it.
That doesn't make any sense to me. Are you
It
saying
also-
that it had the head of a white wolf, but a body of something else? What
It
are you
had
saying?
The head of a wolf, the legs of a horse, the arms of an eagle with claws at the end. And it looked like it was held together by some kind of blue crystals.
It's a riddle.
It's a monstrosity from what I can tell. I've never hunted anything like it.
And you're saying it took someone?
I saw it break into one of the buildings on the northern end of town, and then I saw it dragging somebody out. And the person looked to be unconscious, and he dragged him out to the northern end of the
Okay.
woods.
So not alive and screaming, but not necessarily.
No, but I did not notice any blood being trailed behind.
So there's
Yeah,
really no way to
it's-
know whether or not this person is even alive.
I like to assume he still is, considering the creature seemed very interested in running away with it, instead of just leaving a corpse behind when I confronted it.
When Davos and I were coming into town the other day, we passed a large wolf, biggest wolf I've ever seen. Was all beat up, looked like it got attacked. There were scratches all the way down its body from claws. It was a white wolf, though. Can't be a coincidence.
It is quite
Could be.
strange.
The only thing I can tell you is the only thing that stood out even more than that is when I confronted it, it turned around and spit some kind of net at me.
And you're sure this person that it was taking wasn't dead? Or there's at
I'm
least a
going to
chance
find
that
out.
it was.
Yes, I'm with him. He's with me.
If we do this, would this also double up our job to get you out of town, so that we can get some coin that promised?
Is that still valid if I already left town, technically?
What?
Look,
So-
I can give
Yeah.
you some coin, but I can't give you much more than that. But I'm sure if it only took one person, then their wife or their husband, whoever it took, I guess, would be happy to give you something. I'm sure.
They
This
would be
beast sounds
grateful.
like he's been causing issues around this entire town, and I don't want to see a life taken for nothing. I'm going to go out
Yeah,
there and
this-
stop this creature with or without help. Whether or
I
not
agree,
they're
I'm
grateful
coming with
for it
you.
or not.
You're considering this for real, Reed?
If
What?
there's even a chance.
Why doesn't one of us just go across the carpenters and ask them who's missing?
Considering the door was completely busted in, I'm assuming whoever was in there is either not in there or I didn't exactly have time to check, but we probably would have heard something if there was still somebody in there.
Well, if the job is to see and make sure that this person is alive or not, spending time investigating the scene of the crime is just going to put more time for the job to be sealed, if you know what I'm saying. There's a chance that that person that was taken is alive. The time is running out, surely.
I have its tracks memorized. I can take us there, or at least follow it pretty easily, but we have to move fast. I'll be
Right.
honest, I've already felt like we've wasted too much time.
If we're going to do this, then we shouldn't waste any more time talking about it, in my opinion. That's just me.
Yeah, we have to get to this man before something wrong happens. Let's go.
No, very well. We'll just move forward with this task.
Do we really need to take the gnome?
I don't
Yeah, no.
know.
Is that a necessity?
I am an elf.
Maybe.
I like most gnomes I've met. I've only met one.
And he's already been paid, so it doesn't cut into our share.
True.
I was paid for something else entirely.
Speaking on terms that I can understand, let's get this over with.
Right, okay, best of luck. Thanks again. If you need anything else, I can... If you can't find him, I might be able to point you in a right direction.
You're not coming.
No. I am a tavern keeper who is going to keep this tavern and not gonna go out there hunting some creature in the dead of night.
No, it makes sense. I would rather you stay here and be alive so that when we come back, then you can pay us the coin that you promised.
I
I'd rather
also
you just stay alive.
Be clear. You don't want us to bring back Forge, but we need to come back to get the money. Well, I'm not getting the money, but they're getting the money. Later. But not with Forge.
I will stay out of town when this job is done.
Right.
Two birds with one stone. This sounds like a great plan. Why are we still sitting here talking?
Opens
Well,
up the door
I don't
for
know.
you, out into the hallway.
I'll take the lead.
Perhaps we should
Clang,
open the
clang,
windows,
clang
seeing
through
as
the
how
hallways.
People have woken up now.
I will rush ahead and try to keep an eye out for, like, guards on the street so we can move Metal Boy here without being seen.
Right. Yeah, just great idea, Elf. Only the window's about yay big. Forge and Time are about yay big.
Fine. Let's get just be stealthy, middleman.
I got out of town once.
All right, so I'm gonna have everyone who is the group stealthing.
I suppose.
Yeah. I would be stealthing for sure.
Yeah.
I would say I'm gonna.
And
be
if anybody's
stealthing.
making a lot of noise, I'm moving the fuck away from them.
I'm not moving stealthily. I'm moving with a purpose towards the general direction that he indicated.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be trying to. I don't have anything to hide from.
I've been around the town. They're probably used to seeing me anyway by now, so...
So Forge, Pafir, and Davos can all make stealth checks, and then Davos can also make a perception check, as he's being the point man. And then Tyrion
Okay.
and Reed can just
Yeah,
down the street.
I guess
go
we'll
there.
just walk there, hand in hand,
Arm in arm.
arm in arm.
DM.
Uh-huh.
I didn't do good.
Like how not good.
Oh,
I don't think I could have done any worse.
Okay.
Like just low double digits, right?
Yeah,
Just low double digits.
Low, very low single digit.
Low digit. Low digit.
Low digit. Very.
Great.
My stealth was 19, and my perception was 14.
And Forge?
My stealth was 23.
Okay, so 2 successes, 2 failures. Excellent. So Davos says you are the point man, watching for the guards. You can see Tyreem and Reed just like walk down the street, bump into walk past a guard, and they stop and just like check you both out and then continue on.
is one of the guards Talrun? By any chance?
Yeah.
Yes.
This guy.
I think probably halfway through town you see him.
Tareem definitely stops to talk with Talrun. I'm sure we've probably ran into each other a couple times. He's one of the few guards I know the name of.
Yep. All right.
Just making small talk.
Okay, so as you're walking, you just see Time stops and starts asking about the ongoings and this human guard, one of the Dominion Sentinels and the lighter leathers, purple sash, just stops and kind of carries on the conversation. Seems extremely bored with the patrol job that they're on right now. And it is thanks to these efforts that Fafir just like in this elegant clothing, bright in the night, just like waddling on through the open street to avoid like
Waddle. Jeez.
there's a little section of mud between the houses. You have to kind of like move around into the open to avoid it. I think there's a moment, Davos, as you're getting out to the edge. You see Tarim behind your group talking to that guard as another one's coming down the street, kind of around the corner at the top here, and you see Pafir just like out in the open, checking his clothing.
Yeah, I really don't care much about the fear in the situation. Would I see where Forge is at?
No.
Oh shit! All right. Then I'm just gonna. I think Davos assumes that Forge is somewhere around Pafir then at that point. So I'm gonna move to intercept that other guard I see. I'm gonna walk up to him and say, "Sir, hello. Down here. I have a question.
What do you want, kid?
I seem to have lost my locket. Have you seen it on the road anywhere? It would be made of pure gold and had a picture of a lovely halfling woman whom is my lovely wife. Could you please help me find it? I would be in a great deal of debt. And please pay... it was over here for sure. You don't need to walk anywhere else in the town. It was on this road somewhere."
Give me a deception check.
All right, what's my deception? I don't remember.
I like to imagine I'm just watching him go through this, and I'm just like farther ahead, going, "What? Why?"
Trying to buy you time. I don't know if you fucking are. That's a 5. It's a +5.
10?
Yep.
Just stares at you for a long moment, and in that like minute, Pafir just like in the peripheral vision of like this scene walking past and just into the tree line. Scram, kid. Walks
Sir,
past
I
you.
really need to find my locket. It's a precious gift that I need to give to... very well. I always knew the guards around here were just stuck-up pricks. And I stuck out a lot off.
All right. You want to make it to the tree line, and you see Forge is waiting there for the rest of you. Dead silent.
I totally bought you some time.
You totally did something. I don't entirely know what, but thank you.
I made sure the guards didn't see you. You're welcome.
What guard?
Well, I saw Tyreen. He was a distracting one. I took upon the liberty of myself to distract another. Again, you're welcome.
Reed gets up at this point to you.
Well, thank you. Anyways, and I'll start looking around from where we're at now, and I'll locate the tracks, and I'll be like, "He went this way."
You wait a minute. No time.
Yeah, wait for everybody else to catch up.
I'm like, "Oh no."
How long does Tyron hold the conversation with Talron?
I mean, a few. I don't know, maybe 10 minutes. Not too long.
You're all waiting a few minutes.
His distraction technique is a little bit more on the lengthy side, but you gotta give him some credit.
Yeah, maybe he thinks we're still in town. I mean, I kind of just walked right by him.
You know, you never could be too careful. This metal man who we're supposed to be sneaking out of here, he could be anywhere, making a whole bunch of noise.
He's right
Good
here,
thing
though.
I distracted the one guard and allowed him to get to the force, for sure.
Hmm.
5
Again,
minutes
you're
pass.
welcome.
Thank you.
6 minutes. Finally, Tyreem casually strolls on up.
Well, are
You
you
know,
guys gonna hang out later, or are you gonna?
He invited me to his house to have dinner with him and his wife. They're
gonna
expecting
hang out.
another child. Yeah, their one daughter.
Yeah, we should probably get going with the job.
I was gonna say I'm just gonna take off.
Lead the way, Metal
Gonna
Man.
follow him, so let's do this.
At this
Hey,
point, I'd be moving at a fast pace.
Mr. Parfir, that was your name?
Parfir.
Parfir.
Afir.
Parfir. The next bit of the mission here, we're about to track down a monster. And I would suggest that you perhaps not be so obvious like you were on the streets just now.
What are you talking about? I was perfectly stealthy.
No, you were not. I'm pretty sure the gnomes that I just got the pleasure of dealing with on a week from here saw you. So let's just carry on. And, yeah. Please be more careful.
And
Please.
quiet.
And quiet. Yes.
I'll be very quiet. Let's go.
Perfect. Alright, you head on northeast then, with Forge leading the way. A little difficult with Pafir and Dallas both being a little slower than everyone else.
That's okay. I'm actually going to let myself kind of get hung back a bit and just kind of stealth behind the group a bit.
Okay.
Within eyesight. I'm still following them, but especially if this fucking little gnome is going to be yelling, I don't want to be seen with him.
Alright, excellent. Alright, I'll have you roll another stealth check, and I'm going to have
Okay.
Forge make a survival check.
Not great for me this time. That's an 11. 3 plus 8.
Really not good.
I got another 15 plus 5, so 20.
20, okay.
Keep letting me make proficiency checks with things I'm proficient in.
As you continue on, then you see those hoof tracks, this two-legged horse tracks, basically, continue on into the forest, and goes for some ways. I think you end up traveling about a mile outwards of town into the woods, and it's fairly chilled. Not that you feel all that much, but the rest of you can definitely. This sort of autumn night kind of isn't the most comfortable sort of weather to be out in for any lengthy period of time. And you see the tracks that you're following kind of intermingle with some other creature, and then there's two identical tracks that then head off in two different directions. And I think with that, you can definitely tell there was some sort of scuffle here between creatures. There's like dry
Any
blood
Oh, there's blood.
in the dirt here, and there's like a bit of mud has been created just by all of the movement, and then it continues off one kind of eastward, one northward.
There's two sets of tracks that lead different ways. They both seem to be the same. Well, do they look the same, or are they just...
They seem to be identical.
Okay, they do seem to be identical. Seems like there's more than one of these beasts that we're hunting. It's hard to tell which one of these is the one that dragged the body, but hold on. And can I look to see if there's any marks? Because I imagine the one that had the body would have had the scuff marks on the ground from dragging something.
Looking, using that same roll, there's no signs of a different creature. Like there's no other tracks adjacent.
Is there one, like, there's no marks with either of the tracks?
Nope.
Okay, that is not good. I can't seem to find any marks saying that whatever's being dragged is still being dragged. So that can mean either one or two things. I don't see enough blood here or any remains to justify that he was killed here. But they're more than likely, one of them is carrying him on their shoulder or carrying him in a way that's not leaving tracks. Does any of the set of the tracks look deeper than the other? Like they're more set into the ground, like something that was carrying something heavy.
I come up out of stealth at this point and I say, question.
Yes?
What was the, what kind of person was the man who was captured?
You're asking the wrong person to identify. I barely even figured out what a gnome was a day ago.
I turned to Tyreen. You, sir. You seem to have a strange passion for eating things that probably most people wouldn't eat. Would you be able to taste that blood there and tell if it's like a person or like a monster?
Sure. Bend down.
Tastes like dirt.
I think you probably have no idea, just based on past experiences. It's this awfully, like strangely sweet flavor, which is completely abnormal for blood, right? Uh, it's like almost like a thick syrup more than anything. It's clearly like it's crimson, but doesn't taste like a normal creature's blood.
Hmm. Eaten many things in my day, man and beast. Taste a little different. The only thing I can say that was similar was a particular rare feast that had a particular seasoning, but that wouldn't have been here. Can't quite place it. I don't think this was man. This might belong to the beast itself. Perhaps it's wounded.
Can I, after he says that, can I start trying to see if I can find blood farther along the tracks in either direction? Without going too far away from where they're at?
I think pretty easy to see. The tracks heading eastward have blood on them, like adjacent to them. The north ones, however, do not.
So the question is, do we want to pursue the one that's injured, or do we want to pursue the one that's not?
The sign of blood
injured,
indicates it's fresher.
exactly, which means more than likely it was a scuffle over whatever it was, and the winner probably took the body, or took the unconscious man.
Well, yeah, that would be my guess. I mean, whatever lost this fight, they clearly left. They didn't die here, right?
Clearly.
So, yeah, I think it's safe to... My vote is to follow the track with no blood. I think that the winner of this fight would most likely have the person we're here to save.
I agree, that makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, that's the only logical thing. We're not here to kill every one of these weird creatures. We're just here to save the man.
Alright, I'll take the rear up again. You lead the way.
I think from here on out we should probably move a little bit slower, because this is going to be... It looks like this might be something that's closer by now.
Yes, Mr. Pasta. You heard the man.
Alright, that's gonna be another survival check from Forge.
Oh god, this is where I roll really bad. Oh god, it's 12.
The tracks go down for another half a mile or so before they start thinning out, and I think you're able to follow for a little longer, so they become a little more sparse. Like whatever this is starting to try and cover its tracks. Until finally you just lose track of it.
But I know what direction it was heading.
Vaguely.
The tracks are starting to wear thin. I can't imagine this thing would be too much farther away from the town, or else it would lose its food source. The tracks kept leading forward. I vote for something that might be a little dangerous. It's not going to be too threatening to anybody, but I think we spread out in a straight line at least a good distance away, and we move forward in that direction and try to cover it. And if anybody re-picks up the tracks, we can continue following. It's either that or we just go off a blind bet that it kept going forward.
Well, I'm not the best at tracking things, but I have traveled quite a bit. I'm not terrible at picking up the tracks on the ground. We can cover more ground if we spread out, but I certainly don't want to be attacked by that thing alone.
That would be my vote as well.
Well, let's
No
continue
more than
forward, then.
no more than a couple arms lengths between each other.
It would just be far enough, because obviously this creature is not going to be able to do a straight left or right and continue like on that direction without us noticing it, at least at some point. So we don't need to be so far away we can't see each other.
We'll just keep going the same direction it was, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so you fan out into kind of a wide line to cover some more ground through the forest. You're still within eyesight of each other. in the dim light. Some of you having an easier time of seeing than others. And you continue on in that sort of northeast direction then, and I think for just ease, I'm gonna say for passive perception, Reed, you are one of the first ones you see, like, towards the edge of the line. You don't necessarily find any tracks for the next 10 minutes or so, but you see a kind of off, slightly northwest of the path you're going, a cave kind of set in a hillside. There's like a rocky outcropping that forms like a shelf opening up the hole.
I'll just kind of and point towards the cave.
That would kind of like pass it down the line.
Psst! Rocky Mouth Cave. Pass it on.
Cave.
Yeah. Rocky Mountain Cake. Pass it on.
Rocky Road flavor. Pass it on.
Order are we in?
You're at the end, so there's no one to pass it on to.
Oh no, you have no idea.
I'll start moving towards, basically I'll meet up with Reed.
Yeah.
Reed, that looks
I'll
pretty
just-
ominous. Are we sure we want to go in there?
Not really in it, no, but
I'd
maybe
start
we
probably
can
moving forward towards the cave while
lure
they're talking.
something out of it.
Hey, Metal Man, what are you doing?
If he's in there and that creature's still in there with
Shut
it,
up.
then I'll
Make a
take
bunch
my
of noise.
hammer off my back.
I don't know if he's gonna go in, and I'll just start backing up, like I don't know, and kind
I'll
of
look back at
following
you guys
a
and I'll
distance.
actually put my hand, telling you guys to stay low, or at least hoping you guys can figure out that's what that means.
Oh, ha ha! Funny.
And I'm gonna take the hammer with two hands, and when I get up next to like the mountain, like the side of the cave, Forge is just gonna swing the hammer as hard as he can into the side of the cave, like the cave entrance.
I immediately duck for fucking cover. Thomas freaks the fuck out. I go to hide.
Echoes out into the forest. A few birds flap up into the sky. And Devos just goes for cover. What does the rest of you do?
Yeah, are there still trees near like the cave and entrance?
There's probably like a clearing for like a little bit, like 20 feet or so. But there are trees close by.
I'm just gonna maybe 30 feet away from the cave, try to just stick behind a tree once he slams his hammer into the side of the hill.
And a nice rock to hide next to. Specifically a rock.
Specifically a rock.
Yes.
Interesting.
Would that work if
Feels
it's next to
natural
me?
to hide here.
Alright. You watch Forge hear as there is movement within the cave that you disturb. You hear like a tapping sound, like rapid tapping. Not much else. Until... What's your passive perception?
15.
15, you say. Excellent. You see a couple of 8-legged large creatures chitter across the wall heading towards you. Angry and disturbed from the noise and their eyes glowing red with malice, we will go ahead and take our break there.
Brian
Oh, no.
with an eye is gonna die. Boop,
He's
boop,
gonna-
That's sketchy.
Excellent.
These
Well-
things make nets too. It's perfect.
Yeah, oh boy. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere as we will continue this first episode of A Guild's Tale. Getting right into things. I would like everyone to roll initiative.
Oh yeah.
Woohoo!
I attempt to befriend them before combat starts.
I think it's all too late for that, buddy.
So you remember that joke about me dying in the first episode?
That was a joke?
Oh yeah, I rolled a natural one, so
I got a 7.
Add everyone here. Guess I'll roll for them.
Doesn't let me change my own initiative anymore.
Doesn't it? Can you guys not edit your own initiative?
I did.
There you go.
If you enter in yours at the same time someone else does theirs, it
Yeah, notice every time somebody clicks on something, it's
Yeah, we really don't have any system in place to make that easier. We just kind of everybody rushes to do it first.
Yeah, what we should do is the DM should say, just go down the line and say, hey, what's your initiative? And when that person answers, they also type it in.
Hey, Dad, what's your initiative?
I got 14 plus 4, so 18.
Excellent.
I mean, realistically, we could also just click on our icons and roll initiative and roll 20, and it would just place it on, the tracker for us.
good.
But
You're not
But I have
wrong.
physical dice.
I probably would roll higher. See, look, he did it. He's just fine.
Excellent. My plugin's not working for the initiative. That's fine. So in this combat, as it starts, these giant spiders just crawl out in from the mouth of the cave and get up right up towards Forge, blocking up most of the mouth, but being kind of like low creatures. There's still a lot of space up above. You can see there's actually a second spider clinging to the roof while this one's on the bottom. Well, actually, there just so you can see it. But first to act is actually Davos.
Okay, so Davos, let me measure something real quick. No, that's too far. Davos will move up. Is this like another small tree, or is it a bush, or what are
It's
we
a
looking at
bush.
there?
Yeah, everything that doesn't have the shadows above them are just like small bushes.
Okay, so I'll just take out my short bow, and I'll just launch an arrow at the closest one to Forge. And then after I launch the arrow, I'm going to move up to that bush regardless.
Okay.
Am I hidden?
Mm-hmm. You get advantage for being all stealthy.
Yeah, well, both were the same rolls. That's both an 8 plus... where the fuck did my character sheet just go? My tablet died, so that's not very helpful. There we go. 6, so total 14.
14 does it.
Oh, cool. So it's sneak attack, right?
Oh yeah, for a multitude of reasons.
With a 2 2s. Plus 4 is 8 points of damage.
Hey, okay, so being first to act, Davos rushes forward and while he's moving and going to cover you. Knock the arrow and it flies out as Forge is watching these creatures rush up the mouth of the cave, and it just sinks into the chitin between its like one of its legs, locking it up, and you see it like it stops being able to move that one. Taking a considerable blow, it looks like it's actually hemorrhaging fluid from underneath its armor, but it is still standing.
I yell out. I move up to the bush, and I yell out to Forge. I say, "Get out of there, you metal git!" And that's my turn.
All right, Tyreen.
Right. He is going to charge straight in as much as he can. I can do 2 movements, right?
You can use your action to dash to move a second time, but that means you won't be able to attack or anything.
He'll also run up right next to Forge. Maul at the ready.
Alright, so you rush forward, taking this large two-handed hammer off your back, and ready itself against this injured spider. Going up right next to Forge, bring us to Reed, who is muted.
I think he's just counting.
Yeah, I know. I was just saying it wasn't.
Okay.
So I'm going to dash in. As I get near Davos, I'll just shout over, "Stay put."
You don't
And
have to
we'll
tell me
continue
twice.
up.
I say.
And I'll get behind this rock. Actually, I'll get right next to this rock. And then I will go ahead and bonus action. Which one looks... I know one's literally made out of armor. But which one looks like they have the best amount of armor on?
It's an excellent
Probably a giant
question.
metal man, yeah?
I would think, you haven't exactly been together very long, so I mean, you'd assume the large metal man.
Alright, then I will go ahead and... bonus action cast Shield of Faith on Tyreen.
Alright, so you take this medallion of yours and kind of acting on instinct more than anything. I imagine this isn't so much of a case of doing anything
Try
specific.
something.
Just think you want to make sure Tyreen doesn't die, and as you hold out this hand, the area around him begins to illuminate slightly with this yellow sort of shield. This wall of leaves begins to swirl around him.
And I look very surprised that something is actually happening right now.
Right. Bring us to the spiders go. I'll mark Tyreen has Shield of Faith. You have +2 AC during the duration. The spiders go. The one at the roof is going to... Depending on the range...
Yo, is that ice cream?
It's gonna look to Reed, and it turns around and with its behind shoots out a web at Reed. That's a natural 20.
Here's where she's cheating. Every time combat starts,
man,
Bryce starts cheating.
Which dice did you use?
It was this. It was the green one. It wasn't even the one that
Every
was
time.
all the time.
Every
Is that
time.
one we have to add to the list?
Apparently. So as you're like holding it, you're like shocked. Like this actually worked. Just this wet, sticky web, like fresh out from the spider, just like over your face and all on your
Pins
body.
me
and
to the
just-
boulder.
Yeah, stuck to the rock, completely immobile. And then, unseen from the mouth of the cave, 2 other webs fly out. One at Tyreen, one at Forge. The highest to hit Forge is a 15. Which I don't think does it.
Nope.
So as this web flies out, you see at the last moment from the darkness of the cave, and you just duck to the side. However, that's a total of 20 to hit Tyreen.
Barely.
So I think as like Forge dodges, that's the one that strikes you as you're like caught unawares. You're running for the spider in front of you, and it's all over your form and sticks to the earth, keeping you from moving. Leaving one spider, which is going to go ahead and just make its attack at the one not pinned in a web. That's going to be a total of 12 against Forge, which isn't gonna do it. So this large injured spider kind of, as it goes to move forward and bite you with these large fangs, it's the leg that Davos shot actually snaps off as it tries to put weight on it, and it causes it to tumble, easily just missing you. Brings up to Fear.
Alright, run forward a little bit here. And then getting a good look inside that cave. I see the one that's like on the roof.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take mold earth for the chunk of earth that's right above its like torso and just rip it out. Hopefully then falling on top of him as he falls to the ground.
Huh.
Which would
This-
crush the other one underneath it.
Is this
Yes,
a first level
exactly.
spell?
What's that?
Is this a first level spell?
It's a cantrip.
Why do you post that for me? I've basically never seen this be used.
I can move a 5-foot cube of dirt.
Sure,
You
do
can
it.
definitely
It's
do
a
that.
larger than a 5-foot square, but so I'll give it a saving throw to see
Of
if
course.
this works.
But a 5-foot cube of dirt's really heavy.
So, as you hold out your hand and say this incantation, actually just somatic, so you literally just like with silent just can pull down, and this chunk of earth hits it in the thorax, and it brings it down, striking into the one on the bottom. Both are going to take a little bit of damage, which is exactly enough to kill the remaining 3 hit points that the spider on the bottom had. And the other one, like on its back, quickly turns over, and I think is in the process of turning over, as it's technically prone at the moment, on its back, right in front of Forge, which is your turn now.
Oh, guess what's gonna get smashed? All right, so let's see if I hit with my maul on the one that's on its back. It gets advantage because it's prone, right?
Yep.
Oh well, not a 20, but a 19. So 19 plus 7.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Uh, 5, 11 plus 5, 16 damage. No, 17 damage. 11 plus. No, yeah, 16.
Just Gallagher right onto the largest part of it, as just like web kind of goes everywhere. Guts and chitin go flying in the area around you and just like coat the front of you. That is instantly killed.
And I can't use a bonus action to try to free Tyrone from the web, right?
Nope, that'll be an action, and
Okay.
you don't have your movement because you rolled a natural 1.
Yeah, I'll
So you're
stand
stuck
here and
there.
look. Yeah, I'll stand here and look pretty.
All right, Davos.
All right, Davos was gonna stay put, but he sees Reed blasted, web blasted to a rock. He can't quite get there because his little halfling legs aren't gonna get him into range. So instead, I'm gonna move up to the next rock here, and you said that. Do I see any more of the spiders that are inside the cave?
I think you just see at towards the edge of your dark vision down the mouth of this cave, and like the dim black and white figures of another large spider.
Okay, since I can't really get a good beat on him, I'm just gonna knock an arrow and ready an action. And as soon as one enters within 5 feet of an ally, I will loose my arrow.
Very specific, but okay. All right, so you ready an arrow on your bow. Brings to Tyrene, who is currently webbed.
Right. So what's going on in front of me? What am I seeing right now?
So you have your dark vision, so you can see about 15 feet on the floor and roof is another 2 of these spiders, and then just past them is another 2 as well that are like scuttling along the walls and ceiling, heading towards you.
All right, but I am still webbed. Can I shake that off?
You can give me a strength check to do so. 13. You, using your hammer as leverage and kind of with the other hand, just rip free as a lot of the web just kind of rips open. You pull it off the ground. You're still kind of covered all over the shoulders and whatnot, but you're no longer stuck to the ground.
Is that considered my movement action, or?
That is your action.
I'm just gonna wait here then.
Alright. Hold up there. Brings to Reed, who is also webbed.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to break free of this webbing. Please? I'll just flex! What roll should I make, DM?
It's strength.
Strength is 15 total.
Alright, you also, using your weapon then, its blade to kind of cut free some of the strands and just pull off the rock. Still just covered all down the front in this quickly drying web, but no longer restrained.
Cool, and then I will go ahead and I'm assuming I can also see the more coming.
You do not have dark vision, so you cannot.
Oh, I thought they were just inside. Okay, then in that case, I'll reach down and pick up a rock, and I will cast light on it, and I will throw it into the. Can I do that? Or just, since I broke free of.
Is light an action?
Light is an action.
Then no.
Then I won't do shit, and I will walk up to the mouth of the cave, and I will say, "Are there more in there?" And I will listen. Do I hear more pitter-pattering?
With your passive perception, easily. Basically.
Thanks for the
ASMR with BB.
haunting ASMR of the spear feet. Then I will go ahead and stand there, not readying an action, because I've already used my action to break free.
Alright. 2 more spiders become visible within the mouth of the cave, and Davos, you can get your shot off.
Hey.
Are they within 10 feet of me?
They would be.
I don't think a 10 hits,
Then
does
I
it?
get an attack. Ooh.
Alright, you have some great weapon stuff, don't you?
Yes, I have Polearm Master, so, and I am using a glaive, so I can get an opportunity attack when this creature moves into my melee distance, and it's only a 12 to hit.
12 does just barely miss. So this arrow
You son of a
flies
bitch.
into the cave, scatters onto the rock, and at the same time, Reed, you kind of panic more than anything. This is your first real taste of combat as you swing the glaive down, and it just cleaves like in between some of the legs, missing and everything else. As the only real major targets they can see are Forge and Tyreme, so another 2 webs from further inside the cave go flinging out, doing fuck all. And then the one spider that's on the roof is going to kind of climb over on the wall and is going to come down to Reed.
Not good.
And then the other one is going to take a bite at Forge. It's natural 20. You want to take a look, you're welcome to come over.
Guy's a fucking liar. Yeah, I'm on my fucking way.
I will fly out there right now.
You don't touch that fucking die for like
Alright,
8
tell you
hours.
what,
I'll be right there.
I'm gonna swap dice here, alright? Okay, that's way worse. Against Reed, that is a 9.
Oh, good.
It's like just instant kill Reed.
That's
Fuck
gonna
Forge.
miss.
However, I do need a Constitution saving throw from Forge.
Do you have resistance to poison?
I would say, is it poison?
Forge?
It is poison.
So I get advantage.
Is it?
Yeah. Wait. I have advantage on saving throws against poison.
Oh, you're not
Okay.
resistant to it? Oh, okay.
I'm not immune to it, no. I'm immune to disease.
He's resistant. So he's resistance to poison damage. Okay, I see. So I see the difference. So if it's damage,
I see. Yeah.
if it's damage, you're resistant to the damage. If it's the poisoned condition, you have resistance on the. You have double on the saving throw. Good for you. It's both of these, so you get advantage. Anyways.
It's a what? Con save?
Mm-hmm.
So 19.
19. Okay, easily. So you resist the poison entirely, but you do take 6 points of piercing damage as these fangs find an opening with its large size. It kind of goes up on its legs and comes down underneath the collar and into your metal neck. It pierces into the metal just enough to kind of get a good grip at your insides and then pulls back out. Brings up a fear.
Get back down on our level. You try knocking anything that's on a roof off.
Sure. There's one kind of like vertical on the wall, not necessarily like above the other spiders, but actually with your improved dark vision, you'd easily see another 2 spiders about there, one over top one another.
Mm-hmm.
How many total is there that he sees?
This would be he only sees these 4.
Okay.
What's your target?
The one over the top because that worked pretty good last time.
Okay, great. Yep. Yep. All right. The one on the bottom does dodge out of the way and doesn't take any damage, but the one on the roof will, as it completely fails its saving throw and just collapses down with this 5-foot chunk of dirt that just smacks into it, taking a wee bit of damage, and is now prone. All right. Excellent. Liking that wizard life, casting all those spell slots.
Yeah, spell slots. These are cantrips.
I'm well aware. Forge. Muted.
Oh,
Forge,
sorry,
your
I
voice
forgot.
box ain't working. Oh.
I got bit in the neck. Sorry. I'm gonna skirt along the one in front of me and see the one that's going for Forge Reed, and I'm gonna move over and I'm gonna take a swing at it on the side of the hill.
All right.
It was a natural 20.
So you just,
So
I mean, feel free to roll.
I would say, do I have to roll damage here? Or is it just dead?
I mean, you might roll minimum.
Attaboy Brian with an eye.
10.
If he cheats against you, you cheat against him.
Okay, boss. Can I do it in your game?
No.
21, 26 damage.
Okay, so it's like kind of up above a good bit, right? So you have to like, even with your height, you kind of reach the hammer up and just crack, and the stone like splits a bit as you just completely splatter the thing on the wall, and it flies outward. I think like a leg actually hits the rock that Davos is hiding behind, and, like glances off. It just goes everywhere, including just all down Reed's face.
Reed is just standing there. It probably gets in his mouth because he's just standing there wide mouthed. Just staring at this now cracked side of this hill.
And then that Forge will just turn back and start facing the spiders coming out.
All right, Davos.
So the spider that is above Reed, is it still standing?
Oh,
It is
no.
gone from existence.
Gone from existence? Okay. So there's the only other one that I see is the one near Tyree and Forge.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, Davos is gonna put the bow away, whip out the daggers, dual wield, and then rush in.
All right.
So I'm gonna do 2 strikes, one with each hand. The first one is a 9 plus 6, 15.
That'll hit.
Okay, that's sneak attack. That's 5 plus 4, 9 points of damage.
Okay, you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I rolled the wrong one. Sorry, it ended up being one less. I rolled 2d6. I'm supposed to be a d4 and a d6. So, anyways, yeah. So 8 points of damage, not 9.
All right, you slide over and with your kind of lower elevation are able to bring this dagger up and into like the base of the front of its head and rip out one of its like mandibles and a large chunk of it. It is barely standing.
Okay, well, I have my offhand. I'm bringing it back down right near the same spot. So I'm basically going in for the double stab, and that's 8 plus 6, so 14 to hit.
That'll hit. I think even
And then
minimum.
that's just 3 points of damage because I don't get a modifier on that.
It had exactly 3 hit points. So
Fuck yeah!
as you tear the other blade out, you quickly with the other hand bring it around the top and end up basically like. Birds don't necessarily have heads per se. You like cut off the entire front portion of it, effectively decapitating it.
Is it any more?
Not that I can see.
Okay then.
All right, so you let down your guard. Tareem.
Everything seems to die before I can get to it.
That's your chance.
Let's take another look. See what's in front of me.
All right, you can see. I'll move him to the lair just so you can kind of get an idea of distance. Oh, God, I just moved that off screen. Excellent. All right, that's gone forever.
Hi.
Spiders are next to one another, like so. The one in the further back is prone.
About how wide is this? Is there enough room for me to move around the first one to the prone one without getting
Not really. It's like just barely 10 feet wide, like just big enough for these things to like kind of skid around. Even then, they're kind of having their legs like up on the walls next to them rather than like on the floor.
Okay, that's fine then. He will charge forward and attack the one in front of him.
Davos will say, "Hey, where you going? The battle's over, I thought."
He's not saying anything, but he's swinging the hell out of that maul. Let me find it. When do I click on again?
Let's see. You should have Maul directly on your attacks and spellcasting in the center.
In the core.
You can click any part of it and it'll...
Hey.
17, that does hit.
And then you just click on the name in the chat box.
Man, it's been so long, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Full squirrel, not using real dice.
Alright, you, like, uppercut, bring the hammer, strike the bottom of this thing, and it flies up, smacks the top of the cave, then falls back down. It's like bottom section all caved in, barely surviving. That it?
I think that's all I can do.
Yay, level 1, read.
Yay, level 1.
Or, well, I'll shout. There's 2 more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice. Now that I know there's more, I'll go ahead and now pick up a rock off of the ground and cast light on it. Now I just kind of hold it in my hands and just think about making it really bright.
Alright.
And then I just kind of throw it in the cave, preferably a couple feet past where Tyreme is standing.
If you
Or a
kind of
couple
like
squares
cover your
back.
eyes for a moment, it's pretty bright. And you see the spiders as well recoil back as this light source enters in, and just sort of hits the ground a little ways in. Now everyone can see these 2 other spiders, and now like 20 feet into the cave, you can see like webs starting to form like in just little spots around the cave, and it seems to go in for a little while further and curve around to the side.
Yeah, he wasn't kidding. There's 2 more in there. I say.
Yeah. I think we were wrong.
Moving it all, read.
I will move up I will move up to the cave entrance, actually, on this side, and just ready in action if any comes out.
Okay. Spiders.
Oh, I don't have an action.
Oh,
You
but
stare
you
at
have
the
your
thing,
pole
really.
arm mastery, so if one does enter you,
Yeah.
you have a reaction
Yeah.
anyways. The one that's prone is going to stand up and skitter up the wall and is going to get above Tyreme, and the 2 of them are basically going to... Oh,
Oh, shit.
I'm going to say this is technically within 10 feet of Reed at the bare bit, so if you want to use your reaction, you could
Okay.
take a swing.
Yeah, I need to remember that with Polearm Master, I basically have an attack action.
So
If it moves into my range, I have an extra action, basically. I just need to remember that.
If I remember
Anyways,
correctly, it's if it leaves your space, you have unlimited attacks of opportunity, but you have 1 reaction you can use when it enters.
Oh, okay. So it's an extra reaction,
Well, it
Basically.
uses up your
but
reaction.
you can only use it. Oh, okay. I don't know. Anyways,
It does things. Yours
Sorry,
too.
it's session 1. We'll...
It's natural 16, so it's a 20 total.
Yep.
And
No, all it does is give you an attack of opportunity when they enter your
1d10.
reach. You're thinking of Sentinel.
Yes, that is what I'm thinking of.
that is 10 points of slashing damage.
That is, with the 1 point of damage it took from Bafir earlier, that is exactly how much health it has.
Nice.
As you bring the glaive up and just like cleave most of it in half, you just stab it like one was like,
Poke at it.
and it just plops down on the ground, like butting into Tyreme, and like glancing off of him. The other spider
Heads up.
is going to take a bite at him. The natural 3, it just like digs into the stone next to you. You just like take a slight step to the side, and then Pafir.
We'll move up close to the action here, being as brave as I am. And then I'm gonna make a minor illusion here just behind it. And it's gonna be, since I'm so small, just me hung onto the ceiling, hopefully distracting it. Or surprising it.
Noted. Alright.
Not that it's gonna live.
Yeah. Forge.
I pull out my longbow and just take a shot.
Make an attack roll.
9 plus 5, so 14.
That'll hit.
I get a D8. I know this dice. 6 plus 3, so 9 total.
It is 2 health, so it
Yeah,
just,
I was gonna say, doesn't
arrow
matter.
sinks in up to the feather into its form, and it just falls to the ground motionless.
And you just see me standing behind it.
Yeah. And I think you wait a moment just to make sure there's nothing else coming out, but there is silence.
I'll sling my bow back over my shoulder and grab my hammer.
So I don't think giant spiders were exactly what you were referring to when you said that a beast had taken that man.
No, and I get the feeling, even if those the spiders hadn't attacked him, I don't think they'd want to share a meal. If you guys want to go and see what's in there, there might be something, but I'm gonna look around see if we can pick up the tracks again.
Well, I'll definitely go in and investigate that.
Alright. Start creeping in. The cave takes a bend around to the left, and then kind of it doesn't go very far. It kind of just dips down suddenly into a divot that forms this sort of like barely 15-foot diameter room where there's web covering all the floors, the walls, like hanging down in this sort of like almost like hammock sort of shapes. And give me an investigation check. You did good?
I did good!
Okay,
I did good!
You see there are a few forms trapped within cocoons. Most of them you recognize as like just being animals, right? There's one that appears to be like about wolf-sized. But one of them is about humanoid-shaped, which is hanging on the ceiling.
Oh, guys, looks like there might be somebody trapped in here in the webs. And I can't reach it. It's on the ceiling.
Well, if you can't reach it, I can't reach it either. This is all you get, tall people. I'll stay and watch outside the cave.
Tyreem, can you cut it down while I look for the tracks?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll go. I'll go with him.
Alright, so the two of you shuffle in, having to kind of, per fear, have to move back, because it's still only this, like, 10-foot wide opening, barely. And for, like, Tyreem having to kind of, having to duck a bit to actually fit inside here. You see much of the same scene.
How you say? Did you say it's like 15 feet up?
Yeah, so the whole room is kind of this, like, not, like, smooth, but this, like, 15-foot diameter, almost, like, sphere of stone that was excavated. And it's more of, like, a 10-foot space because of, like, how much webbing is, like, covering, like, the entire surface here.
Yeah, I don't have a knife, but I'm just gonna reach up and yank.
Oh, careful! I'll just kind of be there to like attempt to catch a body.
What's Tyreem's armor class?
Am I still under the effects of the thing?
How long's Shield of Faith last?
10 minutes, so yeah.
Oh yeah, you're fine. Then you have
19.
it. 19. Okay, as you yank a number of like small spiders just like crawl all down your hands, and like you can tell they're probably like trying to bite you, but they can't. You don't make through the armor, and you rip the web down, you just wipe them off before they can actually do anything. And
Stomping the ground at my feet.
Okay, you just scatter and stomp most of them. Maybe only like a couple survive, but as you tear the webbing, like a good bit of it kind of rips free, and gets like the body kind of goes loose a bit, and then you just continue ripping down bits until it falls down and strikes like the middle of the room, and just like sticks to the webbing on the floor.
Is it fully encased? Like it's wrapped?
It's like a fully cocooned humanoid.
I'm gonna try to find wherever its head might be and tear it open.
Yeah, I'll help if I can.
Alright, you kind of have a hard time moving over to like step on the webbing as it sticks and kind of tears at your foot, but nothing else to really harass you. You're able to get over there and see that there is holes where these spiders have bitten into the cocoon. Do either of you have a sharp object?
I have a short sword.
That's doable.
Hold out a hand. Yeah.
I've got it, and I'll go ahead and unsheath it, get over top of the body, and attempt to start cutting the webbing.
Cut his
At
fucking
least
face
just,
in
like-
half.
Yeah.
Give me a dex check.
Oh fucking A.
Rip.
Oh god.
Rip.
It's a total of 3.
Total of 3.
I'm really happy Forge isn't in there right now.
So this sort of tense webbing that keeps this cohesion, you go a little too deep, and it's almost like popping a bubble, right? As it releases all this tension, and you can feel like liquid leaving a thin vessel as its liquefied innards are pierced along with the cocoon, and this just putrid, rotted fluid of this person's
Oh,
inside
God.
spills out into the cave and like a little onto your shoes.
I just immediately like fling myself backwards and like land on my ass on the floor in this cave.
Your entire
I'm
back
just,
is like
like,
stuck to the web.
Like almost like start dry heaving.
Maybe next time you'll let me do it.
What is that?
Food.
Food.
Oop.
And then it kind of clicks.
Yeah, I
Ah,
think it is, basically.
Are you hungry?
no,
Well,
that's disgusting.
clearly this person didn't make it. They might have if you hadn't stabbed them, though.
Listen,
We'll never know.
I feel confident that he was already a goner. Unfortunately,
We'll never know.
I am gonna check if he still has pockets.
It takes some more working to get the webbing off of the body, but it's a lot easier now that the tension's been released. It's a little kind of disgusting having to like move it around now that the fluid's been released. So I'm gonna have you make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, damn it. That's always good. That's a 10.
All right. You're sick a little and are going to be considered poisoned for the next minute, basically. As you just come ill, not like actually a disease, but just the nausea in your stomach from the smells and the feeling of searching the body. But we'll use your same investigation as you check. There isn't a lot of goods on them. There's a blade in a scabbard that you pull out. It's this fairly nice but slightly rusted short sword. And on their back is a satchel that's been disturbed slightly, and you have to kind of roll him over. It's a little wet. And going through this small bag, there's a coin purse, which has. Always like rolling for these. Oh, that's not bad. 8 silver coins and 10 copper. And then aside from that, it is empty aside from a sort of flat, about like yay wide, the size of about a hand, object that's wrapped in a cloth, and then a thick iron chain is wrapped around it and locked with a padlock. Doesn't seem to shift. It's fairly heavy. There's no movement though, aside from the chains rattling.
What is that?
No, it's all locked up inside this.
Huh. Let me see it.
Yeah, okay.
Now, roughly how big is this thing? You said it's wrapped in cloth?
Yeah, so it's some it's an irregular shape, right? It's not like round or square. It's like this odd sort of rigid shape, about the size of a large hand, like 3 or 4 inches wide, wrapped in a sturdy cloth, and then like crisscrossing like an X shape, this chain with a padlock.
Are they like big chains?
Yeah. Like each link is like 2 inches wide.
If we want to get that thing open, I think my companion out there can give it a crack.
Bring it to him. See if he can crack that open.
Yeah. All right.
I'm getting out of this place. I just head out first.
You have to like kind of rip
Vamos.
yourself off the ground. Your entire back is covered in drying web.
I'm just leaned up against the cave mouth. I was just kind of keeping an eye out this whole time. So when he comes out, you know what's going on there.
Oh, don't go in there. It's gross.
Nah, he killed a man.
Stabbed him right in the face.
Did what?
No, don't lie to. He was already a goner. Unfortunately, he was in there. Spider food. You know they.
We don't know that for
liquid-
sure.
He popped.
Yeah, you stabbed him in the
Yeah,
face.
you did stab him.
I don't think I'm going in there.
Yeah,
don't go
it's
in there.
gross.
However, we found this. Do you know anything about locks?
Actually, I do. That's a bit of a specialty.
Ah, your friend said you might. I figured you must be, some kind of locksmith or something. Perhaps
Yeah.
you could open it for us.
I can
What's
open this
inside?
up, but I must make one point of order here. Assuming that we're all agreed that we are working on this mission together, to where I'm from, it's wise and fair that anything that we find in this box gets split equally amongst us 5.
Yeah, 4 ways.
There's actually 5 of us.
Right, but Forge is going to be sworn to me anyway, so 4 ways.
Yeah, divided by 4.
Do you agree to this, Mr. Forge?
I don't really care for materials.
All right, 5 ways is
4
fine,
ways it
but I'll
is.
take 5 ways is fine, but I'll take his share. All right.
No,
Wait,
no.
that's less fair for us.
That's exactly right. Look, I've been in the business for a few years.
You almost had him.
All right, let me take a look at this lock, shall we? All right.
But hold on, before you do that. What if the object or whatever can't be split? We're gonna have to talk about
Yeah,
that.
what if it's like one big hunk of
Well, there's
something?
only one
If
way
it's
to really
metal,
find
I
out. We have to
comprehend.
find out what's in the box first, yeah?
All right. Well, if it's one item, then we'll just arm wrestle for it.
I don't agree to that term, and I would lose for sure, definitely.
I'm not.
I
so
might
sure.
be able to beat that one. I point to Puffy, but still probably not.
Can I get somebody to represent me in this?
All right, so I'm gonna check to see if it's trapped first. I'm just gonna pick up the object and kind of look around and see if there's any mechanisms that I see.
Give me an investigation check.
Okay.
Oh.
Plus, wait,
Definitely not trapped.
wait,
Uh-huh.
4, so it becomes a 6.
Got this one.
Seems to be on the up and up. Let's take a crack at this luck, shall we? Better. 9 plus 8. So 17.
Intelligence saving throw.
Fuck. Intelligence saving throw?
Yay!
God.
Do something cool. Go crazy.
12 plus 4. So 16. I have a proficiency in intelligence saving throws?
Let's see. Who wants to volunteer?
Okay.
Roll me a D100.
Oh boy.
I'm never volunteering for anything that Bryce needs a volunteer for.
Yeah, that's true.
Ever.
Ever.
That is gonna be a 4.
4.
4. Wow.
You're supposed to roll high on D100s.
Most you.
There's a lot more.
Davos, what languages do you speak?
I speak Common and Halfling, and I know Thieves' Camp.
Okay, you hear something in your head as something expels out of this object, and you don't understand. It's this deep, guttural, harsh sound. And then, as you blink, you seem fine.
That was weird. You guys all hear
Is
that?
he the only one that heard it? Yeah.
Yeah, you watch as he just kind of like snaps back,
Oh.
and then
Did you guys just hear those whispers?
Hearing
No.
things.
No.
I can't find the tracks over here.
Did I at least get the lock?
no.
This is bad, you guys.
Need me to break it open?
I don't think that's wise. I think there's some sort of demon magic in here.
What?
Look, I've not for bad reasons, for any sake. I've picked a lot of locks in my life for no reason whatsoever, and I should have gotten the tumblers to work. It's a pretty simple lock, but
Davos,
then
as
I
you
started
look
hearing
back up,
voices.
You see there is a skeleton behind Reed.
You started hearing voices?
Throw a dagger behind the skeleton.
Oh!
The dagger's
Davos!
Did I still see the skeleton?
nope.
There was a skeleton behind you. I swear. I swear.
I
I
just
swear to
start
me, Mom.
walking up Davos. Davos?
I
What
saw
is-
it.
what's going on?
There was a skeleton right behind you.
Right behind me, where?
I threw it. I
Did
might have
anybody
killed
else
it.
see it?
All nothing. This guy's going crazy.
I need to find my
You sh-
dagger.
Are you
All
sure
right,
he's
stop.
qualified?
I'm not sure. Yes, he is. He is. And I just kind of put my hand on his shoulder and start to slowly, like, try to push the book or this thing out of his, not necessarily grab the thing, but push it out of his hands. Just
Yeah,
put it down.
I just drop on the ground and I go look for my dagger in the cave.
There's a solid thump just like as it hits the ground.
I'm picking it up.
Grab it.
Yeah, who had it before and they weren't hearing weird shit?
Yeah, that was me. I didn't hear anything.
Nah, I didn't
Not
hear
until-
anything either.
Nah.
All right, you
Hold
guys hold
on.
on to it, and I'm just gonna follow Davos into the wherever he's going for his knife.
Have you held it yet? I'm holding it up to my ear.
Think you hear the ocean.
Huh.
The gentle lapping waves of the eastern shores. But no
Oh,
demons.
it's just waves, Davos. It's just waves.
Where's my dagger?
You bend
Yeah, I'm
down.
gonna go and yeah.
You grab your dagger, and as you look back up, you see a white wolf just lunge at your face.
Ah!
As you, Reed, you watch as he like just flings backwards, terrified, and like covers himself.
Nothing. I just run over to him. Davos, and I start kind of shaking him.
Is it gone?
What? Yes.
Did you
What-
kill it?
The spitters.
The wolf.
The wolf.
Haven't found it
There was
yet.
it was coming right for me.
Davos, there was no wolf.
What? I saw it.
That thing that you
Am I seeing shit?
Yeah.
I don't remember eating any mushrooms.
No.
What is even real? Are you real?
Yeah.
Touch his
That-
face.
Hi.
You're real. Alright. I'm just gonna close my eyes for a bit. Let me know when the hallucinations stop.
Okay.
Wait, wouldn't you be the one to know when they stop?
I just close my eyes. I keep them closed.
Somebody's gonna have to carry him back to town.
Hey Reed, I got a question.
Yeah.
Back on the road, just the other day, when we saw that wolf,
Mm-hmm.
you said that you didn't know how to cast magic. Yeah, I just saw you. You made a light. You made a rock glow.
Yeah. I did.
So you're lying to me now. Is that the nature of this relationship that we've embarked upon?
No, you know how you said before, and that you don't have to lie, you just kind of don't have to tell the truth.
Did I say that?
Something like that. I
Sounds about right.
don't really know how I mean, I was just as surprised as you are.
See that gnome cast magic?
I did.
Think you'd teach me?
You want to learn from him?
Nah, probably not. That was a bad call. Don't tell him I said
I mean,
that.
maybe.
No, just
Alright.
keep that between you and I, yeah?
All right.
I mean, you're within thrown dagger range? You're not that far away.
I don't know where he's at. He could be right next to me. My eyes are closed this whole conversation.
I thought he was referring to someone else.
Oh,
He
yeah,
said
of
no.
course.
That's also true. He has no idea.
Alright. Tell me, Forge, what are you doing during all this, actually?
This entire time, I've been looking for tracks.
Okay, give me a survival check.
17 plus 5. So 22?
Okay. You see old tracks, actually, hoof prints that came through in this direction, and then signs of scuffle that are like days old. No new tracks like that near you, but on top of that you see not at all in the direction you were going, but towards like the almost like southwest. You can actually see over the top of the tree line. The only way you can actually see is it's like on the other side of the moonlight. There's a smoke trail moving upward.
I'll return to the group and just be, I couldn't find any fresh tracks. I found some tracks of the creature, looks like from days ago, but now that we know there's multiple, I don't know if it's the same one or a different one. But, and I'll gesture over to the smoke, there is smoke over there, which means it could either be campsite of somebody or a fire of some kind. And either way, I can't think of any other places to go, considering our situation, than over there. Is that the box? I just want to go over to the box and tire his hand. I'm imagining he's still got to like.
What about it?
Can I look at the chains and kind of just like see what they're made out of, and just basically just curiosity, just like looking at him. I don't even have to take it out of his hand. I just want to like look at it very intensely.
I'll hold it out for him.
Is there anything specific you're trying to discern about it?
That
Basically, just trying to identify. Yeah, it's me.
Yeah, be careful with that lock. There's demons inside. It makes you see shit.
Demons.
Yep.
Huh.
It's real bad.
Can I
Good luck,
tire
big
him?
guy.
And I'll try to I put my hand out as if I would like to hold on to it.
Of course.
And I want to look at it and I want to see what the chains are made out of. See if there's anything magical about them, since I do have proficiency in Arcana.
Give me an Arcana check.
That is a 19 plus 2. Sorry.
Okay. As you look them over, you actually notice it's a layer of dirt and grime that's formed on these. As you scrape a little bit at the chains, it reveals the material underneath is actually silver. It's this bright metal, and there is faint lines engraved that you can just make up by clearing out some of the dirt, carvings of some sort of arcane origin. And kind of looking it over, you scratch on the lock, and it as well is made of the silver, and it is similarly. It seems like all the lock and the chains are together enchanted in some way.
Kind of hold in my hand. I'm trying to remember everything I was taught about silver, and I'm Davos may not be wrong. I don't know if it's demons in here, but from everything I was taught, silver is usually used to contain or to fight creatures of unholy or magical properties. If this thing is in this thick of a chain of silver, which looks like it's fused together, whatever's in this box is either incredibly dangerous or somebody really didn't want it getting out.
Or it's extremely valuable.
Unfortunately, silver's not the strongest material when it comes to protecting things. Heck, we could probably break this with our bare hands if we really tried.
Let's do that.
Only thing is that if it's not a valuable item and it is something dangerous in there, do we want to risk letting it out in our situation?
Exactly.
Yes.
We could sell the
Yes.
silver.
Right. Break the chain, sell the silver, see what's inside.
Look, Davos just poked at it with some tools for a second, and it started making him see things and thinking he was gonna die, and you just want to break into it and let whatever it is out?
Yeah, that sounds like a bad idea.
It says the man who's seen things.
My
Well,
eyes are so closed, to be fair.
He's not seeing
But I see
things
your point.
anymore, but also, if we're gonna get him to stop seeing things, we probably gotta get inside to figure it out.
Well, just hold on a minute. Open my eyes.
Hello?
You see for a moment, overlaid Reed's face is a spectral version, like a ghost that jumps forward for a moment. You blink
all right?
and it's gone.
I'm just gonna keep my eyes closed. Yep.
Forge, do you think you can break a link?
It's connected to the lock directly, so with my knowledge, if I try to break it here where it connects the lock to the actual chain, that should be the weakest link. I could probably break that.
I say go for it.
Nope. 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 Nope.
We'll give him plenty of space. Let's back away. Just think about it. If there's something terrible in there that's giving hallucinations to crazy guy here, he's metal. What's gonna happen to him?
I stand up to my full halfling height, cross my arms, eyes still closed, and I say,
Facing the wrong direction.
I, for one, will not be sticking around for whatever's in that box. So, Reed, if you could kindly escort me away from this situation.
If
Hold
you
up my
leave,
hand.
if you leave, you don't get your share either. If it's something good.
Never mind.
You
I'll
doing this
stand
for
right
us?
Gonna lean
here.
over. That's good, because I have no idea how to get back.
Oh, right, me either, to be fair. So, alright, we'll stay.
Alright, well, I'll give this a good old college try, and I'm gonna attempt to break the 2 links connecting the chains to the lock.
You just do it with your bare hands?
You die.
I mean, unless I want to destroy the chest
Yeah.
with my fucking hammer, yeah, I'm just gonna have to bare hand this.
All right, you go way over there, and Davos, come here. I'm gonna hide behind this rock, and I'm not coming out until you say everything's yeah.
I walk
I'm just
over,
hiding.
eyes are closed, I find the nearest rock, and I'm facing the wrong way, and I'm hiding behind it. Tell me when it's over.
No, come around the rock. Come around the
Oh,
rock.
this way, and I start going around the left side.
Yeah.
Right,
Okay,
right.
We're good.
Are we good?
I don't think so.
Alright, you give me a play-by-play. Everything that happens, I want to know.
All right. I'll just peek around the corner and be
Open my eye
relaying
real
it
quick.
quietly.
See, there's a,
Something happening around me because I have the chest.
I think the thing you see is a depiction of what you assume this creature looks like based on your experiences. So like this sort of humanoid, part wolf, part bird, part horse thing lunge at you.
Reed,
It's fine.
I opened my
It's
eyes for a
fine.
second. Can you just check real quick? Is the monster out there, or was it just another one of the? Please check.
Just keep your eyes closed.
Okay.
All right, Forge,
Well-
give me a straight strength check. As you take this in one hand, just your giant hands dwarfing this thing, and you just start reaching down to the chains.
And it was a natural 20.
Give me an intelligence saving throw.
Cheaters!
It was a
Outta
19
here.
flat.
You have a plus or anything?
Nope. It was a 19 on the
Who
die.
wants to volunteer?
Me,
last
because I got
time.
fucked.
All right, BB, roll me a d100.
Time for you to have some hallucinations, bitch. 32.
I'm poisoned. Oh wait.
Hi.
32.
You're poisoned.
Huh.
I'm gonna be right back. Just assume I'm hiding with my eyes closed.
All right, the chain shatters, and the links go flying, and the padlock just rips off of it, and you all hear this echoing deep voice speak out. And Tyrion, you actually understand it. In deep speech, it says,
That's an interesting sentence.
it says,
Looking in the notes.
release. And it echoes into the woods around you as, Forge, you instantly have this just intense feeling of disgust for this item and just fling it away from you. And just hits the ground, the cloth unwrapping over its form as you see it hits the ground, unwrapped, and it is some chunk of stone.
Am I so disgusted with it that I'm not going to approach it again, or
It's you are reviled by whatever thing this is.
Is
whatever that is? It's nothing good. Just a hunk of rock, and that's coming from somebody who likes rocks.
Pick it up.
Yep.
You see, it's this jagged, like the top part's almost like a diamond shape, but like one part's a little taller than the other. The bottom comes to more of like a rounded, but like still, there's no smooth edge. It's all like chipped, like it was poorly chiseled. This dark gray and blue stone that has this intricate arcane sigil carved on the front of it.
Discern anything from it from all my years and years of colleging?
Give me an Arcana check.
A 19.
You can gather, based on this thing's irregular shape, is a part of something larger, and the sigil placed on it is part of a like an abjuration sort of magic. This is almost like a key to a lock. You gather. This is part of some other arcane mechanism that would open or seal something. So yeah, this is relatively common artificing. This would be known as a keystone.
Well, got some kind of keystone here. Unlock something.
Did you say keystone?
Yes.
Heard
What's
of
a
such a thing
keystone?
before, but
Well, whatever it is, it's revolting. Whatever it goes to is probably just as bad.
Well, we can't just leave it around for somebody to chance upon.
You're right.
May I?
Of course.
Take into my hands, take a good look at it. Bryce, does this look familiar to me at all?
Taste it.
Have ears.
This specifically, I don't think you've seen this keystone before, but I think you know the basic concept.
Well, clearly, keystone for opening something. But the real question is what?
Trapped in silver, in a box.
Speaking of, find the shards.
Should be easy enough. I'll walk around, start collecting the silver chain links.
All right.
Unless anyone objects, I'll hold on to this until we can figure out what it goes to. And once we get the treasure inside there, we'll split that. Unless you want to hold on to this, holding it out to Reed. Do you want to hold on to this?
No, no, I don't. You seem to be so sure that you know what thing is, and there's treasure there. That did you not just hear that weird, like
Weird what? It said
the
release.
weird voice?
It just said release.
What do you
and
mean
then-
it said release?
That I didn't hear.
That's what it said. It was pretty simple.
In what language was that release? None of them. None I've ever heard.
I don't think I'm actually familiar enough to know like what the language is called, so I can't really explain
Oh,
that.
shit.
I don't actually know. I just know I've heard that word before. But well, it
Oh.
makes sense if it's a keystone. It opens something to release something, which
I
is
do not
undoubtedly
want to
treasure.
release.
Clearly,
whatever-
it's always treasure. After all, imagine this. The quality of what you're storing is only matched by the quality of your key. This is a frightening key, is it not?
some pretty scary treasure you want to unlock there, buddy.
Hell, the key had a lock of its own. Just imagine. Maybe this opens a bigger key.
Yeah, and the lock that the original key needed to go into was scary enough. I don't want to see
legitimately-
what lock this one goes into.
Alright, I'll hold on to it then, since
Yeah,
you seem afraid.
You keep it near and dear, friend.
I will. Tucking it in my...
Hold on to that. And I'm one to agree that clearly this is designed to scare people away. So whatever's inside of whatever this opens is going to be really good to get.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
I like the way the elf thinks.
Thank you.
It's a gnome.
It's a short elf. Who are you to judge?
Yeah, come on, I'm an elf. I'll get a
Okay,
growth
I'm-
spurt here someday.
I'm gonna start going back to the tracks that we found before. If you guys want to catch up, just yeah. And I'm just gonna start backtracking my steps back to the original spot where we split off with the ones I knew about.
All right. Gather up the rest of the group. Is someone carrying or leading Davos?
I'm just leading him.
Just give him the end of a rope you can hold
Yep.
on to. Drag him behind you.
I look back. Did you want me to carry him?
I don't know. Do you want to be carried?
I'll just follow Reed. It's fine. Just hold on one moment.
Seems fine.
You know what, guys? I think I'm all right. Let's proceed.
You sure?
I don't know, buddy.
I don't know. He seems fine. Nothing's tried to kill him yet.
I think I'm fine.
All right.
Wait. Just an hour. We're fine. Carry on.
All right. Are you trying to stealth Davos?
Not right now. I want to stay close to Reed.
Excellent. Okay.
We lost Squirrel again, by the way.
Nope.
Did we? No.
Oh.
What happened?
He's coming and
Squirrel's
going.
Not in TeamSpeak. He's going in and out.
Oh, gotcha.
Only in TeamSpeak though.
Got him on
Oh.
video.
Hey.
Hey.
Not sure what happened.
The keystone is interfering.
Oh, clearly.
It's so spooky.
Right, you continue on, and I think using that survival check, you do eventually find that after a good ways, this thing seems to stop attempting to stealth, and you can see slight tracks now. Not as deep as before when it was rushing, but now these just occasional, like padded, like almost like bear prints. That then, as it's like moving, shift and change, and like one right foot is a hoof print, left foot's like a bear pad, and then hoof print, and then continues on like that.
This is the most disturbing creature I've ever tracked. It's getting harder to follow it, but I think we're getting closer, considering it looks like it's stopped trying to hide itself as much as before.
And just to be clear, we are definitely still going after this.
I don't
Yeah,
intend on returning until we find out if that man is savable or not.
Yeah, we can't get rewarded if the guy's dead.
You're good with this, Reed, still? You sure about saving this man's life, who's probably certainly dead by now?
Yeah. I don't want to think that, but yeah, I mean, we've already come out this far.
All right. Fair warning, if you find any more chained locked boxes, don't call on me.
How much longer are you willing to travel in the night here?
I would probably ask them, be like, I can keep tracking this thing for as long as we want, but I am aware that I am not of the same requirements as the rest of you, so are you guys okay to keep going?
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't need to sleep, so we can keep going.
That is a talented feat for somebody.
Yeah, I know. I'm good.
Yeah, the way I see it, if it's still moving, we're still tracking it, then maybe it hasn't had the time to just do whatever it's going to do with that person.
If it's still moving, I don't think it's done anything yet, at least, so this is probably our best bet to keep going, but...
Really, I'm just trying to get my hopes up at this point.
I'm
I like to
sure
look-
whatever is still alive.
It's better to know for sure. Alright, I'm gonna continue on then. Keep up if you can.
I think it's another hour of traveling about. Taking you about, at this point, would be 7 or 8 miles out of town. So you finally, apropos of nothing, there's no real signs of any shifting in the terrain. You just sort of crest over a hill and see before you surrounded by trees, a tall stone tower. This very sort of sleek, round bottom, no windows or anything, a decrepit wooden door that's hanging off of its hinges that then goes up and then kind of like widens a bit and kind of goes upward until it slopes down to a rounded bell point, almost like think almost like a Ottoman sort of like onion-shaped top.
I'll unsheath my hammer. And I'll like just use the end of it and I'll gesture towards the tower. And I'll start moving towards it. Attempting to stealth up to it if nobody tries to stop me.
You sure this is where it led us to?
I'll look back. I'm gonna go check and see if the footsteps or if the tracks lead up to it or not. I imagine once it gets back to this area, it should feel safe enough to start just going in full force and not having to hide itself.
Not that I'm trying to convince you otherwise, Mr. Forge, but, no offense, but last time you kind of ran off and did some shit that you deemed appropriate on your terms, you kind of dogpiled a bunch of spiders on top of yourself, and then we all had to rush to your aid, and yeah, well, it was a mess.
I look down at my hammer, which probably is still covered in multiple spider pieces. Yeah, but it was a mess we could handle.
Yeah, well, how do you know that, assuming that you spawn in another mess of things, that we would be able to handle that one too? What happens if this beast that we're hunting decides that, oh, look at this dumbass head of the pack, let me just swallow him whole? Won't taste very good, being that you're made of metal and whatnot, but you know what I mean.
True,
You're right.
but
Go with him.
What?
No.
No,
Not a great
I don't think
plan.
that's a good idea either.
listen, I did what I did before, strictly for the fact that if I made enough noise and that creature was in there, it would have came out and hopefully let the guy alone for long enough for us to figure out what was going on. At this point, you're right. That was foolish, because we had no idea what was in there. I could have woken up a number of those things that we now know.
And we don't know
multiple.
what's in that tower either. We don't even know if a beast would take residence in such a tower.
Which is why I'm not opting to go down there to make noise. I'm going to go down there, I'm going to search the base of the tower, see if I can find the tracks, and find out for sure if it's in there.
Your funeral.
Alright, Forge, give me a stealth check.
As you stealth away, I look to read. Would metal people have funerals?
Well, he might, because you definitely hear me tromping down the hill. Well, good news is, it wasn't a 1, so it's a 2 plus 5.
Oh.
Oh, nice.
So, as you're moving down the hill to the sort of basin that the tower is in, the like top of it just barely poking out from the trees around it, even from its lower position. You are just like stumbling a bit as there's like sudden shifts in the hill as your metal kind of like ting, 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 making these slight sounds. As you make your way up towards the front of the tower, you definitely see there are tracks all from different directions. Some of them varying in shape. Some of them these hoof prints. Some of them are like that of a bear's. Others are more humanoid shaped. They all like overlap to one another and kind of converge to the door here.
Is the door, you said it was hanging on its hinges, or is it actually like there?
It's like one section of it's like broken off. It's this like old wooden like partially decayed material that's like one of the hinges is popped off, so it's like resting on the ground with the bottom hinge keeping it there.
Can I kind of like, without moving it or touching it, kind of glance through and see if I can see anything?
Sure, give me a perception check at disadvantage.
Oh, well, that sucks, because one of those was a 20. 16 total for the
So
lower
you
one.
have a bit of a hard time looking into the dim light of the tower. It's a... You see in the... this sort of 30-foot diameter room, there is a... The first immediate thing you notice is this awful stench, as in the back wall, there's a pile of bodies of different creatures that you can't really make out all of them from this distance, that are just some of them are in different states of decay, some of them have like pieces torn off. Next to that is a stairwell built into the wall that goes upward another floor, and then there's signs of living that has been ravaged by the elements. There's like a rug that is all torn into different pieces and is sort of gray from being out in the elements. There's a small dining table with a few chairs around it that's hanging off to a side, partially shattered with scraps of wood everywhere. There's a cabinet with fine china and everything in a partially smashed glass case. And then you see there is, standing in the corner of the room, kind of slumped against the wall, is like an armor stand that's sort of been like shoved to the side and is leaning against the wall, and it's like full suit of plate mail.
I'm going to leave and go back to the group. And I imagine as I'm getting ready to approach them, chink. Okay, so I went down there. I can say without a doubt that whatever these creatures are, there's a lot more than just 2. And that is definitely either where they're storing their food, or that's where their actual home is. I got a peek inside, and there's corpses of some kind of creatures just scattered in the corner. And it definitely looks like something has been going in and out and causing a lot of problems in that place.
Did you say corpses?
I couldn't even tell you corpses of what, but yes.
So you didn't see the carpenter then?
No.
Did any of the bodies look fresh?
I couldn't see far enough. I couldn't see well enough back there to tell if anything was fresh or not, but the way it smelled, at least it was a mix. And there was a stairway off in the room that I couldn't actually see up.
I'm going to go ahead and assume, given how terrible your ability to stay quiet was, that the tower was empty.
It would appear so. I imagine if they had heard me there, I don't think those creatures would have waited for me to get back.
That's a bit of
No,
a pickle
but
then.
whoever lives in the tower probably heard you and probably hid.
That is also an option.
Are you assuming that there's...
Unless you're talking about a broken
Fair
chair and
question.
some corpses.
Searched the corpses?
No, I did not search the dead. That would have been disrespectful.
No, it's not.
The dead don't need what they have in.
We'll talk about that later, Forge.
Either way,
I say we go in, take a look, see what we can learn, see what we can take.
I'm one to agree.
that's starting
not-
to worry me more and more that you two are agreeing with each other.
How do we know that walking in there wouldn't be some sort of trap?
Tell you what, you can stay out here, but you don't get to share in what we find.
Oh, now hold on a minute. I didn't say anything about not going. I'm just saying, what if we go in there and then... Apparently there's more than one of them. What if they just rush in when you're unexpected, looting some bodies, and then you get torn to shreds? Just saying, that could be what's going on.
I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure I could take one of them. Forge could take one of them. And Reed could take one of them. Are you... There's more than one of us.
Absolutely.
There's no reason we can't take more than one of them. Are you afraid?
Of course not. I'm not afraid.
Well, glory and riches await beyond those doors.
I do also want to point out, the longer we stay out here in the open, if those creatures do come back, we have a better chance in that space against multiple than out here in the open.
Why'd you have to say something that actually makes sense?
Yes, what he said.
You're not considering going in there, Reed. I mean, of course, if you are, I'm all for it.
I gesture to the thing. Those were fresh footprints.
And there's only one set of fresh footprints as far as we can tell, so... Maybe there's only one here. Maybe
How big
he
is the
did
tower?
bring...
Is it as tall as me?
Nah, it's a little bigger.
I thought you were going to say a little shorter.
If I put Tiram on my shoulders, could I have him climb it?
It's probably about 200, 220 feet tall.
Oh, shit. So,
This ain't no baby
you've
tower.
only scouted the first floor. They could be up there right now, having a snooze, waiting for us to roll on up. They pounce on us like a ball of yarn.
Unless there's another way in, the door in the front was still on the hinges. It was still closed, and it hadn't looked like anything would go through it. And honestly,
know-
it's in...
I'm not going to be told I'm a coward. I'm certainly not going to allow my share of the loot be taken from me. I'll go have a look for myself. See, you stay here.
Fellows, no, we'll just... If you're willing to go up there now, then we'll just all go.
Agreed.
Look, I can be quieter. I
That's
can be
fine,
much
but-
quieter.
Kareem just starts walking towards the tower.
I'll just
Yeah, I'll
reach
start
down and
walking
tap
as
Davos
well,
on the
and-
shoulder.
Great, let's go ahead and announce us. Should I just start screaming to the sky? Puffy, you shut your mouth.
I was gonna say, don't think you'll have to do that.
Fine, we'll go quietly. Be quiet. But I don't want to be stuck out here when a whole bunch of monsters appear behind me.
Okay, fair enough. I
Kareem,
stealth.
Kareem turns around. Hey, come on. Let's go.
I stealth.
We're being quiet.
Alright, Davos, give me a stealth check at disadvantage.
Fuck.
Wait, I also have to roll a disadvantage.
Same thing twice.
I forgot.
7
Me too.
plus 8. 15.
15? Okay, you, as you're stealthing, you're looking around, making sure that everything's clear. You see an owl, fly down and go and claw at you, and you just managed to keep yourself from screaming out, and you look up and it's gone.
Damn, owl's attacking. You see that shit? It's going for my eyes. Sorry, quiet.
What was your stealth check, Reed?
15.
Okay. Was anyone else stealthing?
If I saw Tyrion just walking up, I would have just followed him.
Yeah, I'm just following him. He's not stealthy.
Alright, so Reed and Davos are a little ways behind. Tyrium's the first to get up, followed by Forge and then Piers. You see, in much better clarity with your dark vision, the inside of this room. You can actually tell the stairs don't just go upward, they head down in the same position below the tower as well. You can see that there are signs of like claw marks and things all around the stone walls, and the pile of bodies is primarily seems to be all like animals. You see like half of like a bird of some like eagle of some kind. There's a collection of like spider legs that are like scattered around. There's a fairly large corpse, like as like big, bigger than Forge, of this like bright white furred wolf that is all like has chunks bitten out of it, and then a few smaller wolves like it as well next to it. And they all clearly are different states of decay. Some of them are a bit fresher, like the white wolf seems pretty fresh, but everything else is like starting to turn a bit rancid. You.
I'm waiting for the rest of them to approach.
Yeah. So does it look like these bodies were just kind of killed and left, like as food for this beast, or does it look like pieces of these things have been removed and are being used to splice together, from what I've been told?
You want to go in there and make a check?
Oh, we haven't entered yet? If we enter her, then yes, I would love to. If I can get close enough eventually.
Alright, since this was my bad idea, I'll like put my hand on the what's left of the door. And I'll try to like carefully open it.
Oh, the door's already open.
Oh, it's just been. Oh, that's right, because you said it was like broken, barely hanging onto a hinges. Like, I'll put my hand out and I'll like enter the room with like one big step.
Seems fine.
And I'll just like have my finger up to my lips and I'll just. Oh, up to my helmet.
Alright, so the rest of the
Making
group
my way
enters.
in. Yeah.
Yep. And
Alright, Reed, and give me an investigation check.
Investigation. Can I make a medicine check?
Sure, I'd say that's reasonable.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. Oh, it's still ass. 8 total.
8 total? Hard to say. You don't see anything obvious like stitches or anything, but whatever happened here, it's gruesome. Like, it's not like surgical equipment.
Okay. And are there any humanoid bodies, or is it all creatures and no?
You kind of look around a bit, at least like on the surface of this pile, you don't see any humanoids.
What's the layout of this room like?
So, as soon as you enter in the door, at the very other end is the staircase that goes up to the other floor and then down into a lower floor. Right next to that, on the left, is this suit of plate armor that's like leaned up against the wall stand. And then to the right is the, like underneath the stairs, is the pile of bodies. And then closer to the door on the right is the sort of dining area of this shattered wooden table, a few chairs, and this fine china in a cabinet that's partially smashed.
Okay. As I'm kind of inspecting the bodies, as I get closer to the stairs, I'll kind of stop in between where it goes up and down, and I want to just listen to see if I hear anything.
Give me a perception check.
That's also pretty shitty. 16 total.
16. Not terrible. I think you hear the faint sound of running water echoing from below the tower, like up from the stairs.
Water run it like running water. Probably not a bath filling up. Okay. Just wait until everybody kind of gets in, and I don't hear anything from upstairs, but there's definitely running water from down below.
Need me to go take a look?
Good idea.
I lean in closer to Reed and I say, I really don't want that big scary armored guy to call me a coward again.
I really don't want you going and getting yourself killed.
If anything happens, I'll come right back. I promise.
All right. I'll be waiting at the top of these stairs.
Hey, Reed, you don't need to get too much, you know. You owe for nothing. And I go downstairs.
Alright. You haven't broken stealth, so you can continue that.
Okay.
You go down the stone stairs downward. Is anyone else doing anything?
Against my better judgment, I'm gonna start going towards the stairs leading up. I don't want to go up them like all the way, but I want to see if I can kind of like look up and see if I can see anything upstairs.
Alright. Kafir?
I'm just gonna keep vigilant. Time being. Get up.
Didn't quite pick you up there.
I'm gonna
Stage
wait,
whisper!
stay at the top of the stairs and wait and see.
Alright. Tarim?
I'm going to stay in the general vicinity of everybody else, but I'm going to kind of wander around, try to see what I can see, if there's any halls or other stairways I can look up.
Okay. So you probably, next to Pafir's, you're also kind of looking up. The only sort of, openings are the stairwells going up and down. As Forge, you start making your way up the, like basically just stone bricks that jut out of the wall, not really supported by anything, that start leading upward, and then at the same time Davos going down into the basement, towards the sound of running water that you can start hearing more and more audibly as you move down there. And as you make your way around the edge of the bottom of the wall there, Davos, we'll go and end it there.
Oh, come on. Can I just see what's inside
Oh, come on. No, that's a good cliffhanger.
first? Is there an
Don't
elf
let 'em
taking a
know.
bath? Can I
There's
throw
a
a dagger
wood
at
elf
him?
right there. Taking a bath.
It's actually a very tall gnome.
It's a 7-foot tall gnome.
I
It's
assure you
the
I'm an
elusive
elf.
pointy-eared gnome.
Oh boy. Excellent. Well, session 1 done. Ah, it only
said
took.
session
Yeah, very
I almost
good.
said session 0. Clearly did like.
Level 3.
Everyone's now level 3. Yeah, except you're not.
Excellent. Except we're actually level 2.
Except you're level 1.5 or so.
Damn it.
But Bryce.
But we killed like
I get my
CR,
ASI
like,
at level
8
1.5.
spiders.
Awesome.
Killed like CR1 850 XP spiders. Split between the 5 of you. You're like, almost there. Any case,
Alright.
good session. Thank you all for watching. We will be back next Saturday for the next episode of A Guild's Tale. This is the new bi-weekly schedule for our Saturday shows. Next week we will have the next episode of Fate and Destiny at the same time, 6 p.m. EST, featuring myself, Nate, and Brian with an I all as players, and BB
Brian.
down there as the player.
Hi.
As a DM, even. You'll be
Correct.
here, and I'll be down there. We'll swap places.
me seat.
Schedule and everything is down below. We should have a Tuesday show, hopefully.
I mean, sure.
Well-
Maybe, if it's gonna be worth doing, considering price.
Don't blame me. But that would be
Price.
Tuesday, 6 p.m. EST, featuring myself as a player and the Curryman as the DM. who runs another campaign in the eastern half of this continent, in case you're curious on the nonsense that goes on over there. In any case, information is all down below. Thank you all again, and until next time, we'll see you then.